You know, find the person that's been kidnapped, disable the bomb, stop the terrorists, get to the stage on time so you get up and do your stand-up comedy when the audience is waiting. The ticking clock makes people realize we don't have time to screw around. We got to fix this and do it right now. So that was, in many ways, as miserable it was for, and particularly with my team, because I had a great team, you know, but they did the heavy lifting because in essence, we had to do everything on handshakes. You're not going to get everything doctored. But you're talking about the most honorable parties on earth. The Mayor, Fox, Liberty Media, when they shake your hand, it's gold. And so we got it all done, and here we are. What was it like this is 1997, so no e-transfers. What was it like to tell the Rangers, to quote a song, to take this and shove it? Who made the call and said, by the way, here's the check for Joe Sakic, bye-bye, NYC? Well, Pierre went to Joe's house and delivered the money. I got up with Liberty and Fox and the mayor at City Hall, and we announced the arena deal, Fox and Liberty. And we were coordinated. It was choreographed. And then I was a speechwriter when I was a kid. And I had the blessing to do some work for the governor of New York when he was vice president, Nelson Rockefeller. And he had that famous picture where he was being heckled and he offered his opinion of that. And that picture of him flipping the bird was, I figured, a nice gift to send Dave Checkins, who's a good friend of mine.
XM. It's your destination for everything on the tour. Hear live, hole-by-hole coverage and expert analysis. PGA Tour Radio, Sirius XM 92.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Monday, June the 24th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the Stanley Cup Finals at 8 p.m., Florida Panthers take on the Edmonton Oilers. Panthers on Sirius 161, XM 219, and Internet 932. Oilers on Sirius and XM channels 167, Internet 931. National feed on Sirius XM and Internet channels 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Monday, June the 24th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the Stanley Cup Finals at 8 p.m., Florida Panthers take on the Edmonton Oilers. Panthers on Sirius 161, XM 219, and Internet 932. Oilers on Sirius and XM channels 167, Internet 931. National feed on Sirius XM and Internet channels 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Monday, June the 24th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the Stanley Cup Finals at 8 p.m., Florida Panthers take on the Edmonton Oilers. Panthers on Sirius 161, XM 219, and Internet 932. Oilers on Sirius and XM channels 167, Internet 931. National feed on Sirius XM and Internet channels 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Monday, June the 24th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the Stanley Cup Finals at 8 p.m., Florida Panthers take on the Edmonton Oilers. Panthers on Sirius 161, XM 219, and Internet 932. Oilers on Sirius and XM channels 167, Internet 931. National feed on Sirius XM and Internet channels 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Monday, June the 24th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates.
SiriusXM has soccer covered end to end. SiriusXM FC. Hear live play-by-play and talk shows hosted by legends of the game. It's SiriusXM FC on channel 157.
Toronto Maple Leafs winger Ryan Reeves joined Dave McCarthy for Sunday Brunch on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91, to discuss the Florida Panthers and what Craig Berube brings to Toronto as their new head coach.
You know, they play hard and they play with really good structure. What I'm seeing from the games that I've watched is, Edmonton, obviously they like to come through the neutral zone with a lot of speed. They make the east-west pass and kind of get through the middle. Florida's just clogging up that middle, and it's really frustrating. Edmonton, obviously, besides yesterday, they've had a hard time getting into offensive zone clean, and they just seem to really be. Every time McDavid touches the puck, there's somebody right on him right away, and he's not able to get that speed that he's used to having in that room that he's used to having. So, it's been interesting to see their structure really frustrate them.
Yeah, and it's not just against Edmonton as well. It was David Pastrnak, it was Nikita Kucherov, Art Panarin, Mika Zibanejad. All of those guys, 0 goals at 5-on-5 in the playoffs against the Panthers. I mean, it's no accident that they are where they are. What do you make of the news that Craig Berube, the new head coach of the Maple Leafs, and what do you think he will be able to bring to the group?
I got to sit with him briefly after the season once he was hired. I think he's just going to bring a new attitude, just a little new swagger that obviously the team has been missing. I'm excited to play for him. He obviously was really liked in St. Louis. I never got to play for him there. I missed him by a year and a half, but I've talked to guys about him, and everybody kind of says the same thing. They go through a wall for the guy, and I think. I think that's an important aspect for a team and a coach. It's going to be. I think it's going to be a fun year with him.
Does it make a difference when a coach with a Stanley Cup on his resume walks into the room and just carries that level of cachet?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just like when you bring in a player who has Stanley Cups. I think you understand that they know what it takes to win. And, with him having a cup his first year in St. Louis, I think everybody kind of understands that he was a big part of turning that team around, and he knows what he's talking about. So, I think that resume is gonna help for sure.
And lastly, before I let you go, I think it's fair to say you are the reigning heavyweight in the league right now. Craig, I think, was the reigning heavyweight, if not right up there during his day. 5th most tilts all time in the National League at 257. Have you ever jumped on YouTube and studied what Craig got up to back in the day?
I've seen a couple for sure. He swings a little more freely than I do. I like a little more. I like to be a little more technical, but the game was a little different back then. There's a lot of more guys that just kind of chucked and didn't worry about what was coming back at him. So I'm not going to say I'm adopting his style, but he was a bad man back in the day.
And that was Maple Leafs winger Ryan Reeves on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91, with Dave McCarthy for the Sunday Brunch.
Follow every second of the action on NHL Network Radio. From behind the bench to every play on the ice. If it's hockey, it's on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91.
I'm Frank Track.
You're listening to NHL Play-by-Play on SiriusXM.
703 points percentage after he came aboard on November the 12th to take over the hockey team, and he has guided Edmonton back from 3-0 down, equalized the series at 3-3, a chance for hockey immortality for the Edmonton Oilers. This is Rogers Game Night, courtesy of Rogers, Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network. We're in the Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth, and Legacy Heating and Cooling is home and no payments and no interest for a year. Connor McDavid, likely to win the Conn Smythe Trophy regardless of the outcome tonight. 42 points so far in the playoffs. He had this to say of the prep for Game 7 tonight.
You got to prepare just like you always do. Obviously it's not your ordinary game. Everybody understands that, but you got to make it as ordinary as possible in your head. I think part of that is just sticking to your routine.
All right. Meanwhile, Zach Hyman has 16 goals in the playoffs, the most since Joe Sakic had 18 back in 1996. So the most in the cap world of the National Hockey League. And this to stay on the mental approach tonight.
Yeah, it's our 6th elimination game, so we're used to being in this position. Obviously, it's the first time we have the ability to win, right? Which is an amazing opportunity. But in all those games you play as if it's a Game 7 because it's your last game of the season. So just treat it the same.
That is Zach Hyman of the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers Injury Reports brought to you all season long by MIC, a proud partner and an official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers. Evander Kane remains out of the lineup. We'll call it a core injury. Very close to returning. It's not going to matter now. This is going to be the last game played in the 23-24 season. As we go to the lineup game, it's presented by PlayAlberta.ca, an official gaming partner of your Edmonton Oilers. It'll be Connor McDavid up front with Ryan Nugent Hopkins and Zach Hyman. Leon Draisaitl with Warren Foegele and Dylan Holloway. Foegele has 2 goals and 5 points plus 3 in the series. The Oilers' third line has been terrific. Adam Henrique with Matthias Janmark and Connor Brown. All 3 of them kill penalties. Janmark and Brown with shorthanded goals to get Edmonton started in game 4 and 5, respectively. Derek Ryan in between Ryan McLeod, who's got 3 goals in this series, and Corey Perry. In fact, the Oilers only have 2 forwards that haven't scored in this series, and that is Derek Ryan and Leon Draisaitl, who's still third in the playoffs with 31 points. Matthias Ekholm with Evan Bouchard. Bouchard is second with 32 points. He has 5 assists in 6 games in the series. Darnell Nurse with Philip Broberg. Broberg is +7 in the series for the Edmonton Oilers. Brett Kulak with Cody Ceci. Stuart Skinner starts in goal in games 4 through 7 for Edmonton. In the playoffs this year, Skinner is 10-0, a 1.40 goals against average, and a .943 save percentage. The Oilers' penalty killing's been terrific. Last 16 games of the playoffs, they're 46 for 47. They've outscored the opposition 3-1 shorthanded, which is remarkable. Just to put things in perspective, the Oilers are up 5-1 in special teams goals in the series. Through the first 14 series played, the team that won the special teams battle has won the playoff series. The Florida Panthers outscored 18-5 in the last 3 games after outscoring Edmonton 11-4 in the first 3. It'll be Barkov up front with Verhaeghe and Reinhart. Carter Verhaeghe is -11 in his last 4 games. Sasha Barkov is -6 in his last 3 games. Sam Bennett with Matthew Tkachuk and Evan Rodriguez. Anton Lundell with Eetu Luostarinen and Vladimir Tarasenko. Tarasenko will be replacing Verhaeghe on the Florida Panthers' first power play unit. Kevin Stenlund with Ryan Longborg. And they're going to put Kyle Oposo in and pull out Nick Cousins. Gustav Forsling's been very good for Florida. He's playing 23-43 per game in the Stanley Cup final. He'll be with Aaron Ekblad, Mikko Mikkola with Brandon Montour, Oliver Ekman-Larsson with Dmitry Kulikov. Sergei Bobrovsky is 3-3 in the series at 2.98 goals against average and 889 save percentage. Stuart Skinner's at 909 in the series. Bobrovsky had stopped 78 of 80 shots through the first 8 periods of the series. That's a 980 save percentage. Hasn't gone as well for him since. Florida is 1 for 19 on the power play. They have killed off 18 of 21 shorthanded situations. That is our line of the game presented by PlayAlberta.ca, an official gaming partner of your Edmonton Oilers. There's 16 minutes to face off. This is Rogers Game Night on the Oilers Radio Network.
Look, I know this is radio, so it's hard to show you how much is on sale during the Big One clearance event at End of the Roll Flooring Centers, but it's a lot. Like this flooring, or this one, and all these. Yep, all at clearance pricing for a limited time. Now, you don't need to just imagine what it would look like, though. You can use our visualizer at endoftheroll.com to upload a picture of your room to see the flooring in your actual home. Try it. Find something you love, then get a great deal on it at the Big One clearance event on now at End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Live sky high with remarkable units for rent and for sale at Sky Signature Suites. Currently offering amazing incentives on 1- and 2-bedroom rentals featuring designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. All of this and more within the heart of Ice District, Edmonton's best address for shopping, dining, entertainment, and fun. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com and make your home high above the ordinary.
This is Rogers Game Night on the Oilers Radio Network.
every team's going to throw everything at you. We're doing that to Florida. Florida's been doing that to us. Both teams have been absolutely grinding for 6 games. I think no matter what type of position you're in, especially when it comes to playoff games, you got to do everything in your power to be the absolute best that you can be. So we're really excited to bring that.
That is Stuart Skinner, who's been terrific in goal for the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers, This Is Oil Country Playoff 50-50 is live for game number 7 for the Stanley Cup Final. The jackpot is currently sitting at $14 million with a special playoff separate jackpot at $7 million. It's climbing fast. Buy your tickets now to be eligible for tonight's early bird prize at 7:30 p.m. for $10,000 cash and 8 p.m. for $25,000 cash. Tonight's Oilers playoffs 50-50 is in support of the Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation, supporting Albertans battling cancer, kids with critical illness, animal shelters, food security, military personnel, and much, much more. Let's go to Legacy Heating and Cooling. Who's hot, who's not? Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home and no payments and no interest for 1 year. Connor McDavid leads all players, 11 points in the Stanley Cup Final in 6 games. He's +5. He's playing 22-56. He's now with the 4th most amount of points in a playoff, single season playoffs at 42. Wayne Gretzky at 43. Mario Lemieux at 44. Wayne Gretzky at 47. And the Oilers will be starting their 3rd line for the 4th consecutive game in a row. To the out-of-town scoreboard for Pizza 73, the official pizza of your Edmonton Oilers. Tonight, Hershey, coached by Todd Nelson. Could he be in the mix in Columbus? Hershey has a chance to win the Calder Cup. They're up 3-2 over Coachella Valley. This is Game 7 of the Stanley Cup face-off.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they're the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
From your home to the ice rink, ATCO Energy is there. As the official energy provider of Rogers Place, we're also proud partners of the Edmonton Oilers. ATCO Energy, powering your place. Customers are free to purchase natural gas services or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822. You're listening to Rogers Game Night on the official voice of the Edmonton Oilers, 630 CHED, and on the Oilers Radio Network.
Welcome back, everybody. Game 7 Stanley Cup Final. The Edmonton Oilers have rallied from 3-0 down to force a Game 7. First time that's happened in NHL history since the war, the Second World War, 1945. Detroit did it to Toronto after Toronto rallied in 42 to come all the way back and win the series against Detroit. We bring aboard our Inside the Game analyst, Rob Brown. Rob, what an opportunity ahead for the Edmonton Oilers tonight.
Well, it certainly is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for this team to complete an absolute storybook finish. From where they were at the beginning of the season to where they are now, one victory away from being able to celebrate one of the biggest turnarounds in the history of the National Hockey League, both over the course of the season and obviously, of course, in the final.
All right, well, the Oilers won 5-1 in a jacked-up, pumped-up Rogers Place. I know Edmonton's buzzing around Rogers Place in downtown tonight. They did not get a point nor a shot on goal for Connor McDavid, which I think shows a bit of the evolution of this team, Rob.
Oh, well, it does. That's why I said earlier on the show with Reed, the Florida Panthers might have missed their best opportunity. They played a game in Game 6 where Connor McDavid had no points. Leon only had 1 assist, and the Oilers' power play didn't score. If you can't win that hockey game, well, you're going to be in a bit of trouble because that's not going to happen back-to-back games. So Florida might have missed an opportunity. They're going to need an all-world performance out of Sergei Bobrovsky if they want any chance in this hockey game. Because I do believe that the Edmonton Oilers will be the better team in this game. The Florida Panthers, if they want a chance, they better have the better goaltender.
Rob, it's got to be stated, Florida completely shut down Edmonton in game number 2. Okay, they did. But the Oilers have probably started better in 5 of the 6 games. How important is the start tonight?
Well, I think it's more important for more important for the Florida Panthers than it is for the Edmonton Oilers. I think the Oilers are confident if they go behind in a game 1-0, 2-0, they're capable of coming back, and they've shown that throughout the playoffs. I do believe if the Florida Panthers fall behind, they will be looking up at the scoreboard, where have we gone wrong? Well, we're 1 game away from a Stanley Cup championship. Now we're chasing an Oiler team, and we've seen when the Florida Panthers chase in this series, they struggle because then they have to open it up, and all of a sudden there's more and more odd man breaks going the other way. So the first goal of the game is important, but it's more and more important for the Florida Panthers. I don't know if Florida can win this hockey game if they don't score first.
Well, right now they got 2 goaltenders going different directions because Bobrovsky absolutely dominated the first 3 games. He had a .953 save percentage through the first 3 games. He's at .793 with a 5.06 goals against average in the last 3 games, Rob.
Well, can you believe that after game 3 that you and I be sitting here talking about the more confident goaltender in this series is Stuart Skinner? I mean, we would have giggled after game 3 after the way that Bobrovsky started this series, but that's the way it is right now. Skinner looks unbeatable. And Bobrovsky, some of the goals that he's let in, you're like, oh my, what was the goal that Connor McDavid scored last game or 2 games ago coming from the side 5-hole? I mean, that's not a goal you give up. Not one in the Stanley Cup final. So Bobrovsky, he has had a struggle in the last couple of the games, and the Edmonton Oilers can see it. They can sense it. And I imagine they are going to throw everything they can on net tonight and try to get to Bobrovsky early.
Oilers going with the same lineup, a minor change for Florida on their 4th line. Rob, there's some numbers that support Edmonton. They've got a +6 goal differential in this series. There's only been 4 times in NHL history in the Stanley Cup final where the team with the worst goal differential ended up winning the series. And all 14 series decided so far, the team that's had won the special teams battles won the series. And right now, Edmonton's outscoring Florida 5-1, including 2 shorthanded goals on special teams.
Well, everything right now is pointing to the Oilers. The only thing that you would scare if you're an Oilers fan is Bobrovsky is capable of having an out-of-body experience as he did in games 1 or 2. I believe in this game the Oilers will be the better team. That doesn't always guarantee you win, but I have no doubt with the efforts that the Oilers are going to bring. I think there's a lot of question marks, though, what's coming with Florida. Kachuk hasn't been good. Reinhardt hasn't been good. Verhaeghe hasn't been good. And the Florida Panthers are not deep enough to be able to win hockey games without their star players going, and we know what we're going to get from the Edmonton Oilers. So this Oilers team is going to be ready. They understand the significance of what they've done, and they want to cap it off with the Stanley Cup championship.
Rob, we've gone, and we haven't really talked about Connor McDavid. And I'm thinking back, and I think the first, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but for some reason I thought the first NHL season he worked was 05-06 year, and the Oilers went down to Carolina after a dominant Game 6 performance, and they lost. But there's a difference. The Oilers have their number 1 goaltender. They didn't have him in 2006, all due respect to UC Markkanen, who played great in that series. And they don't have that team didn't have Connor McDavid. And at the end of the day, these are huge moments for great players. And we're privileged to watch one of the greatest. If you had to make a bet on a guy stepping up tonight, who would it be?
Well, obviously, it's going to be Connor McDavid. When the Oilers went down 0-3, I said on radio, on Reed's show, that the Oilers, I believe, are going to win in 7. And I know that nobody has ever thought that in the one team, the Leafs came back from 0-3, that all those other teams that didn't do it, they didn't have Connor McDavid. He is the best in the world. And we've seen Sidney Crosby, the golden goal, Kane winning the Stanley Cup championship. The great players, Mario in Pittsburgh, Gretzky, Messier, all the great players come up with their biggest performances at the biggest moment. And I believe we are going to see a special night from Connor McDavid.
Yeah, there's no question that the Oilers are going to need that. And they've got another guy, too, by the name of Leon Draisaitl. You talked about the Florida guys that have been a little bit quiet in this series. Draisaitl has been. We think he's playing through significant injuries. But that said, he can pop off at any time, can't he?
Well, again, we saw how important the first goal was last game, and it was Leon Draisaitl setting up Warren Foegele. The Edmonton Oilers, if Leon gets on track, if Hyman gets on track, the Florida Panthers do not have the horses to match those players. Having said that, both teams have 60 minutes tonight to prove which one is the Stanley Cup champion and finish off a storybook season for either one of their franchises.
All right, Rob Brown brought us the 14th of the game. Rob Brown and Reed Wilkins coming up during the first and second intermissions into the roll. First and second intermissions, the players have come on the ice. The Ford Keys to the game brought to you by Ford, official partner of the Edmonton Oilers built Ford proud. Jack Michaels will have the call up next. Alanis Morissette will have the two anthems tonight here at Amarant Bank Arena in Sunrise, Florida. This is what you live for. Game 7 Stanley Cup Final. The Oilers have a chance at true history. Jack with the call up next.
Straining to find the right home? You're going to love this. For a limited time, get back in the game with a free Oiler Fan Cave basement by Coventry Homes. This playoff package includes a free basement, plus an exclusive Oiler Fan Cave, complete with their signature customizable designs and top shelf finishes at no additional cost. Because flexibility is within reach. Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers.
Ready to score big on your outdoor space? It's game time with Park Landscaping. Transform your backyard into a winning arena with Park Landscaping's expert team. From design to maintenance of lush lawns and state-of-the-art synthetic turf to inviting pools and captivating water features, Park Landscaping will make your outdoor space the MVP. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the game with Park Landscaping. Call 780-486-2744 today or email info@parklandscaping.ca.
MIC is a leader in medical imaging and the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers. Make MIC your choice. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, the game doesn't stop for injury. MIC's sports medicine imaging specialists can help you get back in the game with a timely and expert diagnosis. Go where the pros go. For a location near you, visit mic.ca.
Well, we welcome you live to maybe the biggest game in the history of the National Hockey League, and that's because of the circumstances. There have been significance in a handful of Stanley Cup finals, but not many have gone Game 7, and not many have involved this kind of comeback from 3 games to none down, featuring the league's best player, Connor McDavid, trying to, along with his team, establish history that has not been seen since 1942. The Edmonton Oilers look to complete a historic comeback, not just in the National Hockey League, but in the history of the major professional sports. There have been 5 teams that have come back from a possible 407 3-0 series deficits when you include the NBA and the Major League Baseball playoffs. And Edmonton will try to do a Stuart Skinner in net tonight. And up front, the line that has sparked them so often during this Stanley Cup final, and that's Connor Brown and Matthias Janmark on the wings. In the middle, Adam Henrique, Bouchard and Ekholm defensively. Ringside for the anthems. Your starting lineup brought to you by Coventry Homes.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see rise, our true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Please remain standing for the presentation of our nation's colors by the City of Sunrise Honor Guard.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Now, tonight's exclusive NHL broadcast. There he shoots and scores!
Now it's Bryce on the left of Connor McDavid. Centers Kane for the hat trick. He scores!
All the action called by the voices who know the game inside and out.
This crowd explodes!
Bob Stauffer and Jack Michaels on the Oilers Radio Network.
The great Alanis Morissette, born in Ottawa, now dual citizen of Canada and America, brought in to sing our national anthems tonight. Spectacular as usual in a spectacular atmosphere. Roberto Luongo trying to charge everyone up on the Panthers side. It is an eclectic and electric night at Amerant Bank Arena with fans of both teams screaming, "We want the cup," and trading barbs of "Let's go Oilers" and "Let's go Panthers." And finally, in the longest season in the history of the National Hockey League, not affected by a lockout or COVID, we're going to have a resolution tonight. It's Game 7, the Stanley Cup Final, maybe the biggest game in the history of the Stanley Cup Final about to be played. Edmonton, Florida, alongside Bob Stauffer, Jack Michaels. My privilege to bring it to you from Sunrise, Florida. Adam Henrique set to take the opening job. A final reminder, Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers. And it's Henrique Brown and, of course, Matthias Janmark, Ekholm, and Bouchard. The puck is dropped, and we're underway in Game 7 with Florida having won the first 3 games of this series. Edmonton rallying to take the next 3. Here's Connor Brown driving down the right-hand side for the Oilers, who've outscored the Panthers 20-5 in the last 10 periods after Florida had outscored Edmonton 11-2 in the first 8. Bouchard, a shot to the net, and that was deflected away from Sergei Bobrovsky, the Florida starter. Luosterainen, Lundell, and Tarasenko begin the game for the Panthers, and a shot off the rush by Lundell is flicked aside by Stuart Skinner. The Panthers managed just 2 shots in the first period of Friday's Game 6 back in Edmonton, won by the Oilers 5-1 with a couple of empty netters. It's hoisted out by Zach Hyman and chipped in by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who did not practice yesterday, but he's ready to go on the 13th anniversary of when he was drafted first overall by the Edmonton Oilers in 2011. Panthers send it in. Broberg hit hard, but the puck exits the zone. Fired back in by Forsling. Skinner will give it a look. Nurse reverses calmly back to Philip Broberg, who swings it up the right-hand side for Zach Hyman. He'll move it to the middle of the ice. Darnell Nurse, 2 goals already in this Cup final. I thought he had a momentary opening down the seam, but did not take advantage of it. And here come the Panthers on the counterattack, right to left. Florida in the red with the blue pants and white numerals. Edmonton in the white and blue pants with the orange trim. Warren Foegele's had a really good final. Picked it up left-hand side. Dylan Holloway brushes it back to center. And now the Panthers will play give and go. Ekman Larson and Kulikov, who started the game, trade the puck but turn it over at the Edmonton line. And Foegele knocks it back into the Florida zone. settled by Ekman Larson, wires a pass ahead for Kyle Oposo, and the fourth-line winger who draws back in the night is able to negate icing. Lomberg bumped it back to Nico Mikkola, and behind the net, Oposo pursues. He's angled off the play by Cody Ceci, who has a pair of goals in Game 7 for the Edmonton Oilers. One in 2022 against LA and one in round 2 against Vancouver this year. Here's Foegele driving down the middle. A shot deflected, rolls, and Fogel's drawn a penalty. And Edmonton will be awarded the first power play of this hockey game.
Might be on Foegele here for a high stick, Jack.
Foegele was fighting through a hook ball.
Got to be on him.
Foegele pleading his case. He's saying, I was hooked. And we saw this in the previous game. Foegele felt he had drawn a hook. I think it was Derek Ryan who got called for a high stick when he was trying to plow through traffic in the prior game. Foegele got the stick up a little bit high as he tried to plow through the middle. And the penalty will put Florida on the power play. Now the Panthers are a dreadful 1 for 19 in the series and 1 for 33 in the last 2 Stanley Cup finals. They took it over against Vegas and losing.
They're not going to call icing. They're going to be running the Oilers D all game because they had 2 sequences where they got in on the forecheck and pounded Edmonton. And Foegele was dead tired at the end of his shift there. He didn't get off the ice.
He thought he had beat his man and drawn a hooking call, but no. A high stick, and Foegele disgustedly sits in the box. Florida 19% in the Stanley Cup playoffs, as its power play obviously has hit the skids against Edmonton and given up 2 shorthanded goals in the process, including Brown in this building in Game 5. A wrist shot off the draw taken and stopped by Stuart Skinner at the expense of Sam Reinhart, who has just 1 goal in his last 8 games. As some of Florida's players have really seen their offense dry up mightily in this final. 2.5 gone by first period. It's a Napa Auto Parts penalty kill for the Oilers, who've erased 46 of their last 47 over a 16-game stretch. Easy face-off win for Henrique and pounded down the ice by Matthias Ekholm. And driving in from the right-hand side, short-handed is Nugent Hopkins, only to be run off the puck. Tarasenko sends it up the left-hand side for Reinhart. They moved Tarasenko up to the first power play unit yesterday at practice, replacing Carter Verhaeghe, who's struggling mightily. Nugent Hopkins is able to make a steal and a length of the ice clear. Tarasenko's a shooter, Bob, and that might be an adjustment in mentality as much as anything else.
Good pickup.
Alexander Barkov in over the line. Tarasenko gives it back to Barkov. Centering pass tipped away. Moves quickly to Tarasenko, left circle. Crosses. Barkov gets it back from Ekman Larson. Loads up right circle. Snapped it to Tarasenko, and that was tipped away. And here comes Connor Brown with a chip up the right-hand side. He actually had a look at Matthias Janmark, who eventually catches up to it. He got belted, and the helmet shaken free. The puck comes free, and Matthew Tkachuk scoots it up the middle for the Florida Panthers, who change on the fly. What a play by Brown. And here's Derek Ryan shorthanded. Wrist shot blocked from the high slot. Getting back in time was Brandon Montour, but Herb on the Napa Auto Parts penalty kill. Shot in by Sam Bennett and taken by Lundell on the right-hand side. Cody Ceci quickly up the right wing boards, and Derek Ryan, the length of the ice clear. And Florida's power play continues to go nowhere. They haven't really even gotten set up here. 4 minutes into the first period. No score in Game 7. Verhaeghe rolls behind the Edmonton net, trying a short side pass that was picked off by Bouchard. The Panthers are able to maintain the zone. Verhaeghe this time under duress from Nugent Hopkins. He'll take it behind the Edmonton net and flip it over to Evan Rodriguez, who turns, fires, deflected home, and Florida has the first goal. Skinner had it tipped right by him, and it's a beautiful deflection. Rodriguez, the presence of mind to just fling it on net, and Verhaeghe able to tip home his second goal of the series and just his second goal in his last 9 games. 1-0 Florida in Game 7.
Well, the Oilers had a chance to get the puck up the boards, and Ryan McLeod on the left side wall didn't get it out between him and Bouchard. And then Verhaeghe had nobody on him at the side of the net. Great deflection by him. Panthers with the 1-0 lead. The Oilers still a penalty, but they don't actually get
it out of the zone.
Out of the zone, and they had a chance for it.
So Florida has the all-important first goal in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final 9 straight times. The team that's gotten the first goal has won. That's dating back to the 1987 Edmonton Oilers, who shook off an early goal from Murray Craven and rallied for a 3-1 victory on home ice in Game 7. The Panthers get it in deep. They lead it 1-0. Verhaeghe and Draisaitl give and go from McDavid off the centering pass. Gustav Forsling able to pick it up for the Panthers and slide it up to Aaron Ekblad. So following the successful penalty kill, they do get McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman out there, and they nearly connect. But the Panthers were able to jam it back the other way, and now Hyman to McDavid, open ice, rich shot off the rush, and a block by Montour. He'll put it up the right-hand side, and Alexander Barkov makes certain of a clear inside the Edmonton line. Verhaeghe from Rodriguez at 4:27, an even-strength goal for the Panthers. Lomberg in on the forecheck. Kevin Stenlund will turn and shovel it down low in the Edmonton zone. Philip Broberg on the puck for Edmonton. Up the left-hand side for Derek Ryan. Now Nurse looking for Corey Perry. Intercepted. Dropped the other way by Montour. In over the line. Montour can't get a shot away. Nurse tied him up. In the corner, it's Kyle Opozo behind the Florida, or behind the Edmonton net, rather, tried to go short side, and that was deflected and sent down low. Ekman Larson can't get there, and it's cleared swiftly to Derek Ryan. Up to center and shot back in immediately by Kulikov. Rattled around the board, Sam Bennett for the Panthers. On the puck in the right corner for Matthew Tkachuk, who will get the second assist on the scoring play. Rodriguez leads all Florida scorers in this Stanley Cup Final. He's got 4 goals, 7 points. Up the right-hand side, Brett Kulak defending his own blue line well. 1-0 Florida in Game 7, 6.5 gone by, and it's Forsling on the puck at his own blue line for Florida. He'll whistle it in deep. They'll give him center. Tarasenko slashed it around the boards, only to see that disrupted by Ceci. Beautiful pass. Breakaway. Shot, score. What a finish. And Edmonton has tied it up brilliantly. And who else but Matthias Janmark to restore order for the Edmonton Oilers. A huge lift and a dart from Cody Ceci that Janmark finishes.
Just an absolutely brilliant headman pass right on the tape. Florida's checking to see if that was offside, but he was onside on the play, and then high blocker side jacked on Sergei Bobrovsky.
Matthias Janmark with his 4th goal, the Stanley Cup playoffs. Cody Ceci, the primary. And actually, Bob, that went off Sergei Bobrovsky's right pad.
Yep.
He beat him right through the armhole. And Bobrovsky, beaten by Janmark, who, remember, has a hat trick in a Game 7 to his credit when he was playing for the Vegas Golden Knights. Barkov off the rush. A backhander stopped by Stuart Skinner. With the game tied at 1, he'll swing it out. Gustav Forsling lets one fly, and that misses blocker side. But absolutely vital for Edmonton to get this game tied 2 minutes and 17 seconds after Florida had finally gotten its first lead since Game 3. Forsling takes a shot left point that's blocked, and the Oilers come away with a puck. So that rapid response for the Oilers does not allow the Panthers to feel any sort of breathing room. Ceci to Janmark. 2 proven Game 7 performers, it must be stated. Zach Hyman gets it in deep for Edmonton. Florida works it right to left. Shot in by Eetu Luostarinen. Skinner to knock it down. Left-hand side for Darnell Nurse. Vladimir Tarasenko shovels it. Luostarinen looking, shooting, redirected just wide, and Skinner in front. Lundell. Rebound Darnell Nurse, likely guilty of an icing call. Mikkola scrambles back, and with 8 minutes gone by in the first period, it has been a high event period. Florida won, Edmonton won. Verhaeghe, his 11th. That's second behind only Zach Hyman, 16 in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Rodriguez and Tkachuk for the helpers, and then Matthias Janmark, another clutch goal for that line.
Florida's funneling everything to the net, looking for deflections. They've been the more physical team. They should have figured out here, Jack.
Off the draw. Rodriguez shot smothered. Rebound, Mikula, and that was kicked out by Skinner. Directly to Dylan Holloway, who's out there with Fogle and Draisaitl, his line mates. They'll send it in deep. Fogle around the boards. It's Draisaitl. Game tied at 1. In game 7, Kachuk works it ahead for Sam Bennett. And he'll chip and charge in from center ice. Kachuk in on the forecheck, finishes CC. And now shoveling it down low, Dmitry Kulikov. Our referees, Steve Gazzari and Dan O'Rourke. The linesmen, Johnny Murray and Matt McPherson, are going to rule icing against Edmonton. CC appears to be somewhat labored after a hit. But with 11:20 to go in the first period, the game is tied at 1. And Janmark, Brown, and Henry, what a revelation they've been as the Stanley Cup playoffs have continued, Bob. They've emerged as the guys that Chris Knobloch starts every game in the Stanley Cup final, the last 4.
Big defensive zone draw here for Leon.
Draisaitl does win the face-off. A high flip by Edmonton, swatted at by Dylan Holloway. They provided energy, even in the games where McDavid had 4 points. That was triggered by first Janmark and then Brown. I mean, McDavid did the rest, but the energy was ignited by that line, and particularly shorthanded. Oposo wrapped up behind the Edmonton net. Kevin Stenlund with control of the puck for Florida. Line 1 versus line 4 here, with McDavid, Nugent-Hopkins, and Hyman out there. Ekman Larson takes a shot that misses short side. Rebound, Kulikov is on it for the Panthers. He'll work it behind the net. Oposo trying to shrug off Cody Ceci, determined as ever. And he shook it off and attempted to clear. Knocked down by Verhaeghe. Ceci will get it right back for Edmonton. And he and Nurse will trade the puck in their own zone. Rather, Kulak. Ceci biding his time now, settling the play as we approach the midway point of this first period. He fires it through Ekblad. Forsling wanders over. Punched ahead, left-hand side, Reinhart. Drops it off for Hagee. Takes it hard to the net. Tried to center and bank it in. And then ended up behind the net. Carter Verhaeghe, like Tarasenko, owner of a Stanley Cup. Those are the guys on the Florida Panthers side. Corey Perry has one for Edmonton. Here's Zach Hyman winning a battle against Forsling. Taking it down low in the Florida zone. One-timer shot by Ekholm. Kicked out by Bobrovsky. Clubbed up the right-hand glass, but not out by Ekblad. Ekholm, Bouchard a blast, and that was redirected. Side of the net. Edmonton able to grab it. And controlling is Henrique. Here's another shot. Ekholm blocked away by Bobrovsky. Rebound for Hagee. Not out. Held in by Adam Henrique. Bobrovsky calling signals behind the net. It's Zach Hyman. Flips it out. Bouchard moves it across. Ekholm left point. And now controlling once more is Janmark. He's feeling it. He heads for the net. Janmark, a backhander. He just slid it wide. He tied the game moments ago. Gives it up for Bouchard. Lets it fly on a glove save made by Bobrovsky with 9:09 to go in the first period. And we've got some kind of action, some kind of atmosphere, and why not? It's Game 7 from Sunrise, Florida. The biggest game in the history of the Stanley Cup Final. Thus far, living up to its billing. The shots are 6 apiece. The goals are 1 apiece. And we've settled nothing through 11 minutes of this Stanley Cup Final Game 7. It's Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, and it's right here, the Oilers Radio Network.
Until June 8th, make the shift to more savings at Fountain Tire and get up to $200 off a set of 4 select tires, plus a bonus $50 off any service of $150 or more. Restrictions apply, financing available, book online today. I can tell by the look on your face you're thinking about it.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuss shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
At Northern Lakes College, students work, raise their family, and complete their certificate, diploma, or partnership degree. With NLC's supported distance learning model, you can do it all in a flexible online classroom. Programs in academic upgrading, business, health, human services, resource technology, university studies, and more, including a wide range of courses available through continuing education. Skate into your new career in a learning environment that works for you. NorthernLakesCollege.ca, everywhere you need them to be.
Until June 8th, make the shift to more savings at Fountain Tire and get up to $200 off a set of 4 select tires, plus a bonus $50 off any service of $150 or more. Restrictions apply. Financing available. Book online today. I can tell by the look on your face you're thinking about it.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Carter Verhaeghe with a tip-in for the Florida Panthers off an Evan Rodriguez shot, and then Cody Ceci, a missile up to Matthias Janmark, who broke in on Bobrovsky and beat a blocker side just over the right pad. And it's 1-1 here in Game 7. Face-off win for Derek Ryan in the offensive zone. Corey Perry allows Ryan McLeod to go to work. Centering pass off the mark. Intended for Ryan. Kyle Oposo ahead to Lomberg, and he'll chip it deep into the Edmonton zone. Loose and grabs. Here's a shot coming. Redirected just wide in front by Oposo. Rebound Ekman Larson for the Florida Panthers. Behind the net, a centering pass intended for Lomberg from Stenlund was broken up. Now Oposo is this hard-working fourth line, anchored by the center iceman Kevin Stenlund, who's reliable in the circle, tries to put pressure on Edmonton. Deep in the zone, Broberg finally extracts for Ryan McLeod, and the Oilers can alleviate pressure as the Panthers make a line change. Darnell Nurse on a reset. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you from our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth atop Amerant Bank Arena. 19,000 plus crowded in to see if Edmonton can make history. One extra move, and Warren Fogle at the Florida blue line is whistled for an offside. It happened once before, and that was 1942 in the Stanley Cup Final, where a team rallied from 3 games to none down to win. It's happened 3 other times in Stanley Cup playoff series, Bob, and as you know, never in the NBA and only once in the history of Major League Baseball. That was the 2004 Red Sox at the expense of the Yankees.
That was a critical response from Matthias Janmark, because Florida they're hunting out there right now. Super physical, pounding the Oilers every chance they get.
Off the draw in the neutral zone. Kulak takes it back into his own end for Edmonton. Left to right come the Oilers. Scampering in is Leon Draisaitl, right corner. Feeds Ceci. He'll send it off the boards. Cairns off the side of the net. Rodriguez there for Florida, and a clear back to center. Cody Ceci. What a setup that was to Matthias Janmark, and a beautiful finish to tie the game at 1. Matthew Tkachuk under control on his own end. He's slowly moving out. Florida looking to avoid the stigma of losing back-to-back Stanley Cup Finals. No team has done that since the 77 and 78 Boston Bruins. Lost to Montreal both years. Up the right-hand side, Barkov, defended by Bouchard. Bouchard took the puck from Barkov and then chipped it over Verhaeghe's stick. Ekblad stuck down low to keep it alive in the corner. Barkov continues to wrestle for puck possession, but it's Hyman who wins the battle. Up the middle for Ekholm. He'll scoop it over. And now Connor McDavid button hooking and dishing off to Ekholm. Wide open Bouchard. Slap cut off the post, and the rebound rings out to Ekholm. Bouchard, a 95-mile-an-hour heater. He'll get it back. Move it to Connor McDavid. Rolls up top. Takes a shot. Deflected. Rebound cleared by the Panthers up the gut. McDavid did not have a shot on goal nor a point in Game 6. It was the first time the Oilers had ever won when that had happened. And it only happened 7 prior times in McDavid's career, including the playoffs, and only the 3rd time since his rookie year. Lundell trying to shake the puck free for Florida in the offensive zone. Succeeds, and it's Kulikov against Ekholm. Won a battle behind the net, tries to set up Anton Lundell. He'll send it around the boards to Tarasenko, who won a Game 7 with the St. Louis Blues against the Boston Bruins on the road. The road team has won the last 3 Game 7s in the Stanley Cup Final. In 2011, Boston went into Vancouver and shut out the Canucks. And then in 2009, of course, Pittsburgh beat Ken Holland's Detroit Red Wings. The Oilers fire the puck out of play from center ice. And we'll have a draw out near the red line when we come back. 5:50 to play in the first period. Verhaeghe for Florida. Janmark the equalizer for Edmonton. It's 1-1 in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, live from Sunrise, the Oilers Radio Network.
MIC is a leader in medical imaging and the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers. Make MIC your choice. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, the game doesn't stop for injury. MIC's sports medicine imaging specialists can help you get back in the game with a timely and expert diagnosis. Go where the pros go. For a location near you, visit mic.ca.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes Olive Oil Country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion, uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
Well, we've got a face-off at the red line. 5:50 to play in the first period. It's been exciting. The shots have been adjusted from 6-6 down to 5-4. But that should not curtail your excitement. We've had chances all over the ice. A tip in by Verhaeghe, a finish by Janmark off a beautiful feed from Cody Ceci, and we're tied at 1. Sending my Luostarinen off that center ice draw for the Florida Panthers, attacking from right to left in this first period. Connor Brown swiftly up against Ekman Larsson, only to be cut off. Lundell to Luostarinen, lost the handle, rocketed it off the boards. Darnell Nurse, here's Connor Brown. Puts the brakes on left wing and gives it up. Henrique shot off the pads of Bobrovsky, got the juicy rebound he wanted, but the Panthers were able to clear out to center. Nurse to Broberg, could not get around his man Ekman Larsson. Brown slowed the puck, and it's still in the high slot. Dangerously, it's Draisaitl. He'll play it over to Ceci, works it around the boards. Fogle kicked it free, a centering pass, and Bobrovsky will cover. As another setup by Edmonton in front. This one by Connor Brown is corralled by the Florida goaltender with 5:02 to go in this first period, and the game's still tied at 1. But that time, Bob, it was Edmonton funneling the puck toward the front of the net.
Yeah, 100%. They got to keep it coming. Oilers' third line's been so good. Obviously, they got the goal. Going to need a little bit more push from both McDavid and Draisaitl's line.
Chris Knobloch won a Game 7 in the second round against Vancouver. Paul Maurice is 4-0 in Game 7 as a head coach. Only Peter DeBoer has a better record, 8-0 in Game 7. Edmonton wouldn't let Dallas reach Game 7 in the prior round, defeating the Stars with 3 straight wins to close out that series in 6. Now, they're looking to become the first team to come back in a Stanley Cup final down 3-0 in 82 years. Off the draw, Cody Ceci. Right wing shot that fluttered wide. Rebound, Kulak. Meanwhile, Florida hasn't lost 4 games in a row all year. Draisaitl to Ceci. Blasted wide off the side of the net and off the ricochet. Mikkola able to clear. Now Matthew Tkachuk in from the right-hand side, kicks it back, held in. Montour down the seam, and shot, and he hooked it wide. Rebound Mikkola. That was a good look for Montour. Bob didn't get it on net. Drop pass for Tkachuk, stolen by Draisaitl. Looking to clear, but it's not out of the zone. Fogle can't get it done. Bennett serves it up. Montour, wild shot off the plexi behind Stuart Skinner, who is 10-0 in games 4 through 7 in the Stanley Cup playoffs this year. Now we'll have a hand pass whistled against Florida with 4:16 to go on the clock here in period 1. The game is tied at 1. We'll take one more break and come back live from Amerant Bank Arena. It's everything on the line, everything at stake. The Stanley Cup in the building. And tonight, it will leave with one of these two teams, Edmonton and Florida, all tied up late first. The Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm proud to call myself an Albertan. You know, after years of touring this great province in my Ford F-150, I've learned the value of driving a tough, capable, smart truck. Whether you're working for the weekend or long-hauling it like I am, there's an F-150 for every Albertan, with plenty of options to choose from, like available Pro Power on board. So if you're looking for a new truck, stop by your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown & Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown & Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
The Brick and the Edmonton Oilers both started right here in Edmonton back in the 70s. And we know nothing is more exciting than playoff hockey. We're next to you in the stands, painted blue and orange, cheering our hearts out. And when we're not there, we're in our stores, making sure you have everything you need to cheer them on in your home. We're proud of this city and its rich sports history. The Brick, supporting the Edmonton Oilers and fans right from the beginning. Let's go, Oilers.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
The TSN marked a game-tying goal only 2 minutes and 17 seconds after Florida had gotten, however briefly, its first lead since Game 3. Off the draw in the neutral zone, Mikkola will shoot it in as we come up on 4 minutes to play in the first period. Hard rim by Stuart Skinner. McLeod floats one cross ice that Broberg is able to fish out of the zone, and it's cleared indeed by Corey Perry, playing yet another Game 7, his 11th. It's also the 11th for Ken Holland, general manager of the Edmonton Oilers. Set up the boards and out by Florida. This will be icing against the homestanding Panthers, who are 8-4 in the playoffs on home ice. The Oilers are 7-5 away from home, and now with an offensive zone draw, you've got McDavid out there with Nugent Hopkins and Hyman, Bouchard and Ekholm. And I don't know, Bob, whether you saw the highly anticipated message thrown around there. McDavid 11 years ago today saying he was a bit jealous seeing the Chicago Blackhawks raise the Stanley Cup. Well, 11 years later, he can ease that jealousy with a cup of his own. Lomberg through the middle. A wrist shot off the rush and a save made by Skinner. Rebound hopped wide from a sharp angle. Opozo shoveled down low for Sam Reinhart. He'll send it off the boards. One time a rip by Forsling and another save made by Skinner. Nugent Hopkins on the rebound. Slowly escapes the zone and reaches the Florida line before being tied up. Barkov failed to get it in deep. He was spun down by Nugent Hopkins and then wristed in by Forsling. Around the boards, and Ekblad carefully puts it down low for Verhaeghe. Reinhart got a stick tied up by Bouchard. It was awfully strong on a stick down low. That'll make Paul Coffey happy. Bouchard off to Connor McDavid. A dart to Zach Hyman. He'll cut to his left. Hyman, 16 goals in this Stanley Cup postseason. Most by an Oiler since Craig Simpson in 1990. The record, Jari Kurri with 19 in 1985. He shares that NHL record with Reggie Leach of the Philadelphia Flyers. Henrique Flatton at center. Tarasenko will give it up to Kulikov, and Florida is able to chip it softly back into the Edmonton zone with 2:25 to go in this first period. Game tied at 1. Verhaeghe, a tip in for Florida. Janmark scoring off a brilliant feed from Ceci. Lavos Karinen. Kulikov a shot, and he pushed it wide. He does not have a point in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Down low to Tarasenko, trying to jam it through the middle. Ekman Larson on the deflection. Had it, and it was slashed free by Connor Brown. Attempted clear by Adam Henrique, who scored a Game 7 overtime goal in this building back in 2012 to eliminate the then division champion Florida Panthers and send New Jersey on their way to an eventual berth in the Stanley Cup final. And Henrique put him there with a Game 6 OT winner against the Rangers. Sent in deep by Florida. Coming right to left, Bennett in on the forecheck, Rodriguez. Swiftly cleared out by Fogle. Minute 30 to go in this period with the game tied at 1. Rodriguez, nifty move over the line, right to left. He'll shovel behind the Edmonton net. Kachuk worked it up the wall, but not enough. Turnover McLeod. Montour down low, and Kachuk tried the move between the wickets, and then he flipped it out of play with a minute 18 to go in the period. But the Oilers, a couple of times, have been a little jittery in their own end.
McLeod turned the puck over on the goal, and that time he got taken to the cleaners, and Kachuk tried to reverse pivot, elevate the puck, and the Oilers were fortuitous to survive that without a better shot on goal here. Got to manage the puck better if you're Edmonton. They haven't done a great job in this first period. Florida's come out banging, and the Oilers have been the meat, and the Panthers have been hunting.
On the other hand, a strike from Ceci. Off the draw, Verhaeghe, a shot blocked. Rebound, Carter Verhaeghe, top of the right circle. Threw it toward the net. Barkov spun around. Couldn't get a rebound off. Now dishes to Sam Reinhart. He fires, blocked by Bouchard. Rebound, Barkov. Knocked off stride by Bouchard. Nugent Hopkins comes over with a minute to go in the first period. Verhaeghe directly behind the Edmonton net. Centering pass. Wrist shot, and that was chopped line. Off a deflection. The Oilers got in lanes there, even though there were some openings in the slot. Ekblad put it down low. Reinhart dropped in his tracks by Ekholm. He pops back up with McDavid right there. Verhaeghe a wraparound and a save. Stuart Skinner. Rebound, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins ahead to Hyman, and he'll chip and charge right around Forsling. Ekblad got over there, and then Nugent-Hopkins missed McDavid on a centering pass. Forsling scoots it up the left-hand side, and Reinhart eventually gets it in deep and was punished for it by Bouchard. Final 15 seconds of the period. Bouchard does not get it out. Nico Mikkola, centering pass, tipped away by Ceci. Rebound, Lundell. Mikkola fires, stick save Skinner. Rebound with 6 seconds to go. Controlled by Luostarinen. He'll put it behind the net. Lundell has to hurry to get a shot away. One-timer Montour to save Skinner at the horn. That would have counted, I do believe, Montour from distance. And the Florida Panthers and Edmonton Oilers have skated to a 1-1 tie after the opening 20 minutes of Game 7. Bob, what do you make of what we saw in the first period?
Well, great response from Edmonton, but Florida was clearly the more assertive team. They're not calling anything, and Florida's been very active on the forecheck. Created a lot of looks here. Edmonton's going to have to do a little bit better job managing the puck, and it's their wingers. Their wingers got to support the play a little bit better on the wall. There's been a couple turnovers that have led to reversals and keep ins for Florida. They've gotten second and third chance opportunities. So give the Panthers credit. They had a good first period.
A little more ozone time.
Yeah.
And certainly if you're Edmonton, you'd like to establish cycle a little bit more and see whether you can bait Florida into taking some penalties.
Yeah, no question about that. Oilers got to get their feet moving. The one line that's really going, that third line was excellent. Henry Janmark had another opportunity, a real good look there. Ultimately, just rolled it wide on the backhand. But I thought that, 1-1, I think the Oilers should take that because I think Florida had some better chances. I think Edmonton will do a better job handling the forecheck as this game goes on. And they're going to have to because there was too many chances created by the Panthers just putting pucks to the net.
Janmark, a massive equalizer, and again, set up by a strike from Cody Ceci. Janmark, Brown, and Henrique have started all three of Edmonton's wins. They started the game again tonight. Cody Ceci now joins us ringside. Cody, how quickly did you see Janmark? Just a beautiful feed. What did you see develop on the play?
Yeah, just saw him cutting across the far blue, and the D were gapped up on the winger, so I found him. I just got by him and finish.
Cody, they came out banging physical. How important is it to get some support from the wingers when you do get some pucks chipped up the wall and make sure you can vacate that zone?
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing is winning all those wall battles. They're a strong wall team, so the more we can win those, get pucks out, then we can go play in their zone.
Does Justin Williams need to make some room for you? You've made some big plays in Game 7.
Yeah, I don't know about that. We're just focused on the task at hand tonight.
Good luck, Cody.
Thanks, Cody.
Thanks, Cody.
Thank
CC. And another big play, though. I mean, it must be stated he scored the first goal of the Game 7 victory over LA back in 2022, scored the first goal of the second round series win against Vancouver. And as you said, Bob, a vital response because Florida finally had a reason to feel good about itself for the first time in 8 days, and that feeling did not last long.
Well, Janmark has become such a huge story. And, you know, Janmark's a pending UFA. He's playing for a contract, and the Oilers, they need this guy to be part of the team carrying forward because he's just been terrific here in the playoffs. This line has started 4 consecutive games, and they've scored Edmonton's first goal in 3 of those 4 games. I mean, the juice they provided the team has been off the charts. Jack, Edmonton's got to do a better job managing the furious Florida forecheck. But a couple things have helped and aided and abetted Florida. The linesmen they've waved off what we thought were going to be icings a couple times. Kulak got rattled once, and then the Oilers. You know, Florida's been physical, and they're getting in there, and they're hammering guys, and some of those hits are a little high, but they're not calling it. It's Game 7 sound like a final. So you're going to have to deal with the fact that that's the standard that's going to be made. I mean, in Fogel's case, he got the stick up. The Oilers had a good kill. The puck was along the boards for McLeod and Bouchard. They didn't get it out. You got to get it out. There was 3 other sequences like that in the first period. They survived those sequences. We should mention Edmonton's one sustained offensive shift. Evan Bouchard hit the goalpost when it was a 1-1 game, and he got all of the posts. So,
and that was hammered, yes.
This game is there to be had, but Edmonton's going to have to manage Florida's forecheck better.
First time in the 7 games, we've been even after 20 minutes.
There you go.
Shots on goal 7-6 in favor of the Florida Panthers, who took a 1-0 lead on Carter Verhaeghe's 11th of the playoffs. Rodriguez and Tkachuk, the helpers, at 4:27. Janmark followed suit, as we talked about. Cody Ceci, an absolute rocket up the middle, and Janmark was able to bury the ensuing finish at 6:44, and as a result, we're tied at 1. Florida had the only power play, failed to convert. The Panthers are now 1 for 20 in the series. Napa Auto Parts penalty kill has been sensational. Reed and Rob are next. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey. The 7th game of the Stanley Cup Final, live from Sunrise, the Oilers Radio Network.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton Airport. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, you can always enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options, or try your luck at off-track betting. And now you can feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Century Casino has it all. Come for the action, stay for the fun.
It's our YEG with 630 Chad.
It's Global Television's 50th anniversary. To celebrate, we're giving away a QLED 65-inch Philips Roku TV. Listen in daily for the 50th anniversary code word and enter at 630ched.com for your chance to win. Then get revved up for the Rocky Mountain Nationals as Canada's best drag racers hit Rad Torque Raceway for a weekend of family fun, July 12th through the 14th. For your chance to score tickets, visit 630ched.com.
For details on these and more events, visit 630ched.com. At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Tarasenko slashed it around the boards, only to see that disrupted by Ceci. Beautiful pass, breakaway, shot, score! What a finish! And Edmonton has tied it up brilliantly. And who else but Matthias Janmark?
Yeah, how about Janmark taking you into the highlight zone for Century Casinos? All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos, 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the winner zone. So an early goal by the Panthers after they failed to score on a power play. 6 seconds after the Oilers killed off yet another one for Hagee with a brilliant tip. Shot was going way wide, tipped it back between Skinner. But then Rob Ceci with the pass to Janmark.
Game 7, Cody Ceci. That's what they call him. It's funny. You and I have taken a lot of calls over the course of the season whether Ceci should be in the lineup. He's gotten better as the playoffs have moved on. That was a wonderful pass to Janmark. Nice play by Janmark getting open, but Ceci spots him, and he just floats it right right to the far blue line for Janmark to pick up in full speed. That was a huge goal. The Florida Panthers finally had something good go for them. They get the first goal of the game. They have the lead. They hadn't had that in quite a while, and they didn't get to sit on it. The fans didn't get to get into it and cheer and have that long stretch where they're in the lead. So a big goal by Janmark. And not surprising, the third line has been outstanding for this Oiler team here in the finals. And I think Bob just said, the third time they've scored first for the Edmonton Oilers here. And a big goal at that moment that might have been the most evenly played, entertaining period of the series. I thought both teams were very good in the first period, and it's rightfully is a tie game after 20.
Yeah. Well, as Panthers to me looked really dangerous.
Oh, that was the best they played since game 2.
That's the best they've forechecked in a while, I think.
Physical, fast. But in game 2 of this series, the Florida Panthers were very good and dominated the game. That was the best they've played since then, and they were very physical. They got in quick on the forecheck. They gave the Oilers no time. They looked much more confident, and when they scored the first goal, they came out and they were continued to be confident. The Oilers had a couple of their shifts as well. You see both teams throwing a lot of pucks on net from distance, hoping for a tip, as we saw the Verhaeghe one. This is game 7. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be an odd goal, weird bounce. Continue to put pucks on net, as we saw Bouchard do that later in the period and almost put one in as it went off the post and out.
Shot 7-6 in favor of the Panthers, Rob. As again, I know you touched on it a bit, but that Henrique, Brown, and they got the goal, but they had the best zone time. I thought.
And
for the Oilers,
they've been the most consistent line the entire series. They've been the best line. Now, they're not getting the minutes. I think they only played 4 minutes in the first period, which is about an average of about 12, 13 on the night. But they're noticeable when they're out there, and you have faith in them defensively. The added bonus of the goals that they've been scoring as of late is huge for this Oiler team. There's always unsung heroes, always guys that you don't really notice throughout the year that score big goals in big moments. And this is a big moment for the Edmonton Oilers. Janmark scored one, third line guy. As we go forward in the final 40 minutes, I'm sure we're going to see more of McDavid, more of Leon. But there is also a moment for some other player to shine, that they will be remembered. Remember the night that so-and-so scored a game-winning or scored a big goal in Game 7. I expect we're going to see that as this game goes forward into the final 40.
All right, so 1-1. The officials on the goal, you have Verhaeghe from Rodriguez and Tkachuk at 4:27. 11th for Verhaeghe. Janmark's 4th from Ceci at 6:44. Again, shot 7-6 for the Panthers. They were 0 for 1 on the power play. The Oilers did not have a power play. The final 50-50 of the season will be drawn tonight after the game. Early bird draw at 7:30 for $10,000 cash, and at 8 o'clock for $25,000 cash. The jackpot is at $16.47 million. $16.47 million. So, I feel like go get a ticket, but it seems like everybody has a ticket already.
Well, and there's 4 of us in here. We got to split it 4 ways now, Reed. It was just $8 million each before. Now, these guys are in here. It's going to be $4 million each, so it's not going to be as much fun. Not going to be able to go on as big a vacation now with $4 million in the bank.
Yeah, okay. 1-1 after the first period in Game 7. Oilers and Panthers, 4 Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take 1 for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman. Are you ready, guys?
We were born ready. Heck yes, Nuge. Drop the beat.
Call Legacy.
We freaking killed it, Nuge. That's what I'm talking about, Zachary Martin Hyman.
Nice guys. We're going to sell a lot of air conditioners.
Hey, doesn't Legacy offer no payments and no interest for a year on those?
Yeah, well, thanks for the assist on the copy points there, Nuge.
It's just what I do.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Pizza 73, the official pizza of your Edmonton Oilers. Loyal to the oil, in Edmonton we trust. Rising to the top like a pizza crust. Down to the crunch, got the flavors to play. The city of champs going all the way. Let's go Oilers, E-Town unite. Ice District to Jasper, downtown to White. Wearing orange and blue, game on the screen. Make the right call, pizza 73. 73, 73, 73, pizza 73.
Hockey fans, with a spotless reputation, scam Scandinavian Building Services is responsible for keeping over 70 million square feet of space clean and safe every day. With over 65 years in the industry, no cleaning challenge is too big or too small. From national retailers and commercial spaces to small offices and entertainment centers like Rogers Place, let Scandinavian take the worry off your cleaning program. Visit Scandinavian.ca to learn more. Scandinavian Building Services. Our reputation is spotless.
This is Global News at the Intermission. I'm Rod Kurtz. Edmonton City Council's Utilities Committee met today, and water was a hot topic of discussion. EPCOR's identified about 1,200 properties that are not paying for stormwater removal. The committee says those property owners will soon be getting a bill, including some golf courses who've, until now, been avoiding that charge. Alberta's new NDP leader paid a visit to Edmonton today and made a couple of major announcements. Naheed Nenshi won the leadership in a landslide over the weekend. He's named Edmonton Whitemud MLA Rocky Pancholi as deputy leader, and Edmonton Millwoods MLA Christina Gray will be the official opposition leader since Nenshi doesn't have a seat in the legislature right now. The Mountie arrested for 2 child pornography offenses back in late April is now back in custody for additional charges. In mid-June, Alberta RCMP began investigating an adult male soliciting sex with underage girls online. St. Paul RCMP Constable Evan Peacock's now facing 1 count of child luring. He's also facing 1 count of failing to comply with release conditions. I'm Rod Kurtz on 630 CHED.
Be a savvy Edmonton hotel shopper. Book through edmontonsbesthotels.com and receive up to $225 in cash rewards. There are over 50 member hotels to choose from offering their best value rates. edmontonsbesthotels.com. Rewards with every booking.
Blue collar work deserves big dollar perks. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals is hiring heavy equipment technicians, maintenance supervisors, PM servicemen, maintenance coordinators, and pretty much every other position that makes Alberta go. We help move the earth that makes Alberta grow. So why not work for a company that makes your bank account grow too? Visit HeavyMetalEquipment.ca to find your new career. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals, helping you move the earth.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown and Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown and Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Be a savvy Edmonton hotel shopper. Book through edmontonsbesthotels.com and receive up to $225 in cash rewards. There are over 50 member hotels to choose from offering their best value rates. edmontonsbesthotels.com. Rewards with every booking.
At the Intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
All right, thanks a lot for joining us. It is Game 7 between the Oilers and the Panthers. 1-1 after the first period as we check the scoreboard for Pizza 73, official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. It's Game 6 of the American Hockey League Championship Series. Hershey on home ice with a chance to win it, and that game starts, well, hold on a second here. How come we don't have an update? Because I clicked on the wrong game. That's why. I clicked on Wednesday's game. Today is Monday, everybody. It's 3-3 with 12 minutes left in the third. Hershey and Coachella Valley. Baseball tonight. Blue Jays and Red Sox are in the 8th inning. 3-2 lead for the Blue Jays. And we got a trade as well. The Senators and Bruins, all mark for Korpisalo. Mark Kastelik also involved in that deal. We'll keep an eye on further details for that one. All right. Verhaeghe and Janmark have the goals. 1-1, heading to the second period with Jack and Bob. Fort Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
At the Intermission has been brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs. to pride celebrations. From your favorite flush shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Ready to score big on your outdoor space? It's game time with Park Landscaping. Transform your backyard into a winning arena with Park Landscaping's expert team. From design to maintenance of lush lawns and state-of-the-art synthetic turf to inviting pools and captivating water features, Park Landscaping will make your outdoor space the MVP. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the game with Park Landscaping. Call 780-486-2744 today or email info@parklandscaping.ca.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, and breathtaking views. Experience resort-like amenities including a full-time concierge, yoga and fitness studios, golf simulator, plus indoor and outdoor lounges for you to live your best life. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com and make your home high above the ordinary.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
1-1 tie after the opening 20 minutes. Welcome back inside Amerant Bank Arena, Sunrise, Florida. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you from our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Carter Verhaeghe opened the scoring in Game 7 at 4:27. That was followed 2 minutes and change later. Janmark from CC were tied at 1. Leon Draisaitl's second period puck drop. Won the faceoff, flicks the puck back into his own end, and Stuart Skinner will handle it for the Oilers. Draisaitl shovels it ahead. Brett Kulak steps up and drives in against Montour. Curls it in front and no one home. Florida's Evan Rodriguez able to scoop and clear and then lifted high in the air by Matthew Tkachuk, pursued by Bennett, centering pass, and that went through everyone. Montour, high slot, redirect, and a save made on Tkachuk by Stuart Skinner. That's his 8th stop of the night. Shots are 9-6 Florida. 27 seconds into the second period. Jack Bob, Reed and Rob back at our 630 CHED Studios, the flagship home of the Oilers Radio Network. And again, Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final with Edmonton looking to become only the second time in the history of the league to win a Stanley Cup Final after being down 3-0. The other series, World War II, Maple Leafs rallied past the Red Wings in 1942. Face off. Adam Henrique wins the draw. Broberg tried to slide it out, could not do it. Tarasenko to Luostarinen, centering pass, redirected, and into the slot for Adam Henrique. And now Connor Brown dangles and shovels it in. This line's so good. Started in each of the last 4 games, the prior 3 wins, and Adam Henrique nearly stole it from Vladimir Tarasenko. Punch forward by Lundell. The Tarasenko fires, and that was fought off by Skinner. That might have caught him underneath the chin, and the Florida Panthers trying to pursue. Lundell was taken down and ended up basically sitting on the puck. Luostarinen came over to help out, and now you've got a 4-player pileup in the corner as Nurse has erased his man. Peeling away from traffic is Philip Broberg with possession of the puck for Edmonton right to left. He'll launch behind the Florida defense. That was swatted out to center. Pitchfork back in by Nurse. Line change Edmonton, and the Panthers with the puck in their own zone. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, the veteran defenseman, long-time toiler in Arizona. Up the left-hand side, it's steered in by Barkov. Sam Reinhart tried to play a high rim from Skinner that sailed through everyone. Aaron Ekblad will race back to pick it up, no icing. He locates the puck for Hagee, stymied by Ekholm initially. Nudged by Barkov, but not of the zone, and then Barkov dropped his stick. A chance for the Oilers. Bouchard fires and missed the net. High glove on Sergei Bobrovsky. Verhaeghe could not clear. McDavid to the net with a backhander to save Verhaeghe. Watches the rebound cleared by Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky, but he can't get it out of the zone. Ekholm, open Bouchard, lines it up, fires again. Rattled around on a second deflection. Verhaeghe desperately trying to clear, and he does so. Back to center. Scooped back in by McDavid. Verhaeghe snapped it ahead, and that was deflected into the Florida bench by Evan Bouchard. A wild sequence. Bouchard had a really good look, missed high glove, and then Sergei Bobrovsky came up with a decent save on McDavid.
Two of the best chances for the Oilers have been Evan Bouchard with that heavy shot. And
one off the post and one off the net.
Yep. This line's got to get going here for Edmonton. McLeod had a couple turnovers, one that led to a goal, one to a great scoring chance late in the period.
Lomberg slashed in off a neutral zone faceoff. Oilers with the puck, an attempted clear held in by Stenlund for the moment. Ryan working hard, can't muscle it out initially, but the second effort, and he gets some help from Kulak. Racing back to collect his Montour over to Nico Mikula, the left-hand side, angled ahead. Kyle Opozo, the veteran who does not have a goal in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Longtime New York Islander, longtime captain of the Buffalo Sabres. McLeod up the middle, and the Oilers spill it back to the Florida blue line. Quickly cleared by Montour. McLeod fires it in from center, moves it on the forecheck. Hung up with Rodriguez, and the Panthers come away with a puck. McLeod felt he was interfered with. Mikula left wing, a shot sharp angle, a save made by Stuart Skinner. The rebound worked free. Bennett stole it back, left circle, fired, saved Skinner, rebound, bounced free. Tkachuk fell down, and then he tripped up Warren Foegele. That's a no-doubter. A no-doubter. Tkachuk went down and then low-bridged Warren Foegele. It's a trip. Tkachuk saying he was taken down, but no, he fell down and just basically allowed himself to slide right into Foegele. And now Edmonton will get an Atco Energy power play and an opportunity for its first lead of the night. This power play only 3 for 23 in the series, but it's been clutch all year long and really throughout this last 3-year run where the Oilers have lost to the eventual Stanley Cup champion twice and now stand poised 1 win away from their first Stanley Cup in 34 years. Draisaitl out there with Nugent Hopkins and Hyman, McDavid and Bouchard. Draisaitl, even though he doesn't have a power play goal in his last 15 games, still is tied for the league lead in the playoffs with Hyman with 6, and now he'll be moved out.
Yeah, McDavid only at 44%, Stenlund at 52% for Florida.
McDavid won the draw. Here's Bouchard, slide step to his right. Open Draisaitl. Bouchard calling for the puck. Draisaitl looks him off, gives it to McDavid. Cross ice. Nugent Hopkins, open Bouchard, slap shot. Redirected. Broke a stick. Forsling does not have his stick. Panthers, Luos Karinen fails to clear. It's 5-on-3.5. Nugent Hopkins waiting, left circle, firing across to Draisaitl. Pressure from Luos Karinen. Gives it up McDavid. Back to the point, Bouchard. Without a stick now, Stenlund. Draisaitl right face off dot. McDavid coming off the goal line. Surveying. Bouchard thought about a one-timer. Loads up. Fires! Save made Bobrovsky. Rebound, Luos Karinen. Can't clear the zone. Oilers maintain. It's Draisaitl in the corner. Still a 5-on-3.5 here. Nugent Hopkins to Bouchard. Nugent Hopkins. Bouchard. McDavid calling for it. Top of the right circle. Looking. Dishing. Draisaitl. Back to Bouchard. No shot. McDavid left circle. Bouchard. Draisaitl. McDavid. Draisaitl one-timer. And that was blocked. Rebound. Diving. Stenlund could not get it out. Draisaitl heroically keeps it in. Bouchard gives it back to Draisaitl. Right circle. Atco power play at 40 seconds. Bouchard to McDavid. The game tied at 1 early second. Here's McDavid surveying, centering, deflected, and Bobrovsky's got it. 5-on-3.5 for what seemed like an eternity, but in actuality was probably a full minute. And Edmonton, for now, unable to take the lead.
And puck almost ricocheted in off of Aaron Ekblad. And then Leon couldn't get a clean puck as Forsling and company sold out. Draisaitl, we think he's laboring a bit in the face-off circle, sub 50%.
McDavid up at the point. Draisaitl a draw against Alexander Barkov, and now Draisaitl's going to be chased out for the second time on this power play. Now McDavid won the last faceoff on the other side of the ice against Stenlund. Now he'll be matched up with Barkov. Barkov wins this one. Kulikov reverses. Sam Reinhart's going to have all day to clear, and he does. Up the right-hand side. The Panthers 88% on the kill in the postseason. They're second to Edmonton. Bouchard wanders up the center. Still 20 seconds on the Atco power play. McDavid grinding speed through the neutral zone. Over the line. Draisaitl. Bouchard high slot looking for a lane. Nugent Hopkins centering pass deflected away from Hyman. McDavid gives it up for Bouchard just inside the blue line. Now McDavid looks for the lead. Bouchard one-timer save. Bobrovsky. And the penalty comes to an end. Both teams 0 for 1 on the power play tonight. 5 1/2 gone by in this second period. And Sergei Bobrovsky hearing it from the 19,000 plus in Amerant Bank Arena. Not all the Panthers fans unloaded their tickets. There's a healthy Edmonton contingent, but there's lots of noise from both sides. Bob, it's everything a Game 7 should be.
It's been awesome, right from the opening anthems with Alanis Morissette and the Canadian fans singing theirs and helping out singing the American anthem. It's been special already.
McLeod will take the face-off between Fogle and Perry. Off the failed power play, the Panthers come up with a puck. Bennett up the right-hand side. That's an offside against McLeod as Perry broke it up. 5 1/2 gone by in the second period. By the way, Corey Perry does have 4 Game 7 goals to his credit. And Janmark, of course, the most recent Game 7 hat trick in the Stanley Cup playoffs with the only Oiler goal thus far. Face-off coming neutral zone. Henry against Luo Sturinin. Face off 1. And the Panthers on a reset. Sam Bennett through the neutral zone. Looking, dealing Evan Rodriguez over the line. Slips a pass to Carter Verhaeghe. Tried to nudge it in front, no one home. Janmark able to pick it off, give it up to Cody Ceci. That was the combination that tied the game, and now going down in a heap was Bennett. This should be icing against Florida. Panthers are upset for 2 reasons, thinking Bennett might have been pulled down and Rodriguez might have canceled out the icing, but it is called, and an offensive zone draw will follow for Edmonton. And Henrique Brown and Janmark will get the responsibility of taking that. Janmark now 2 goals, 4 points in the last 4 games of this Stanley Cup final. As Edmonton's depth has showed up on time, Bob, both in the conference final and in this Stanley Cup final. Henrique against Rodriguez, wins the draw for Florida, does Rodriguez. Montour put too much on it. That's going to be an icing call. Brandon Montour has not had the best series for Florida.
He's a pending UFA, as you know.
And we suspect he might be a little shaken up.
Yeah.
Montour and Janmark jawing a bit. And now Edmonton will throw Draisaitl, McDavid, and Hyman over the boards here 5-on-5, Bob. Chris Knoblauch putting his 3 top offensive players on the ice. Hyman a combined 70 goals, regular season, postseason. Off the draw, McDavid centering pass, and Bobrovsky will cover. And a faceoff will come to his left. And now Florida head coach Paul Maurice can get out who he chooses, and Chris Knoblauch is going to go ahead and abandon that ship. And we have a TV timeout anyways with 13:54 to play in the second period. No scoring in this middle frame. Game 7 tied at 1. Verhaeghe for Florida. Janmark for Edmonton. The Stanley Cup is in the building. Which team's taking it home? This is Fort Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Hey parents, do you work in downtown Edmonton? Childcare is hard to find, but at Kepler Academy, inside Sun Life Place, we still have some space for children 12 months to 6 years old. Located at 101 23 Hull Street, Kepler Academy Sun Life Place is an award-winning early learning and childcare provider, voted Edmonton's top choice for 4 years in a row. Visit kepleracademy.ca. Mention this ad and your registration fees will be waived.
Even though your 20s are behind you, you still get to have firsts. Like the first time your knee hurts after a morning run, or the first time you felt certain muscles after a workout. Whatever your pain, Advil Liquid Gels are here for these firsts. Advil Liquid Gels provide liquid fast relief for everyday aches and pains, so you can get back to your everyday active life where firsts still happen. When pain says you can't, Advil says you can. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Athletes know that to advance your career, you've got to be part of a winning team. So, what about you? Are you working for a winning team? Well, here's your chance to do just that. Brandt is a strong and stable industry leader with career opportunities across Canada. We have hundreds of positions available right now, from parts, sales, positioning technology, heavy-duty mechanics, and more. Be a part of a winning team. Earn your stripes by joining Brandt today. Find out more at BrandtJobs.com.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
Final minute for 50-50 early bird prizing tonight. $10,000 cash. You've still got another half hour for $25,000 cash. Meanwhile, that 50-50 jackpot is over $17 million. $17 million. Off the draw. Derek Ryan wins the faceoff in the offensive zone. Corey Perry back to Broberg, and now the puck wanders beneath the Florida goal line. Kulikov and Perry jostling. Kevin Stenlund gives way to Ekman Larson. The Panthers break out left to right. Game 7 is tied at 1. Turnover, Florida. Ryan up to Corey Perry. He'll shovel it around the net. Warren Fogle on the ice for the Oilers. He was chopped down. Broberg tried a shot that was deflected out of play beyond the reach of Calvin Pickard. Backing up Stuart Skinner, who comes in with a 5-0 record in elimination games in this postseason. A save percentage of .932. The only goalie ever better in elimination games in one Stanley Cup run. Jonathan Quick, of course, won 4 straight against San Jose, 2014. Later, of course, factored in wins over Chicago on the way to the Stanley Cup for the LA Kings, their second in 3 years. Face-off left side of Sergei Bobrovsky. Garrett Stoll's birthday today. Speaking of the 14 Kings and an ex-Oiler, off the draw, shot by Warren Fogle. A save made by goaltender Sergei Bobrovsky. Mikko Mikula up the left-hand side. Draisaitl tried to power that puck to the middle of the ice. Broken up, but the Panthers come charging out. Stoll, by the way, indicating that he felt the Oilers were ready to finish the job tonight. Wristed down deep by Rodriguez and a save by Skinner from beyond the blue line. Here's Leon Draisaitl, hard charging. Has not scored a goal since Game 4 against Dallas. Holloway a shot, and that was redirected. Draisaitl flashed it behind the net. Brett Kulak is there to put it for Holloway, and now Draisaitl protecting, tried to drag it through Brendan Montour, nothing doing. And here come the Panthers. Carter Verhaeghe, stop and start against Cody Ceci, then double teamed, and Ceci put it behind his own net. It was waved off the stick of Sam Reinhart by Kulak. Reinhart able to regain, spun it around the boards for Verhaeghe, a shot right circle short side, and a save made by Stuart Skinner, his 12th of the night with 12:26 to go in the second period. And Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final tied at 1. Verhaeghe and Janmark with the first period goals for Florida and Edmonton, respectively. The Panthers have never won the Stanley Cup, losing in the final last year and back in 1996. Edmonton looking for its first Stanley Cup since 1990. The Oilers lost a Game 7 on the road in Raleigh, North Carolina back in 2006. Lundell against Adam Henrique. And that was after a decisive 4-0 win in Game 6, followed, of course, preceded rather by Fernando Persani's dramatic Game 5 shorthanded overtime winner in Raleigh. The Oilers rallied from 3-1 down in that series, could not finish off. They've rallied from 3-0 down in this Stanley Cup final. Oilers dump it in. Two Panthers collided. Here's Connor Brown to Matthias Janmark. Philip Broberg slipped through traffic in the corner. Turns right circle. Moves it. Adam Henrique a shot. And that was blocked by Luos Karinen. Kulikov jabbing at it. Ekman Larson tries to clear. Another failed opportunity for Florida to get out of the zone. Kulikov run off the puck by Connor Brown. Lundell in trouble with Janmark right there. Ekman Larson can't get it out. McDavid has come on on for Edmonton. Ekholm works it around the boards. This is the kind of cycle game that the Oilers would dearly love to establish. And they're running Florida around a bit here. Ekholm to Bouchard. High slot. Could be a pivotal shift. Kulikov. Run off the puck by Nugent Hopkins. Hard hit by Ekman Larson. Ian Kulikov able to shake it free. Kulikov moves it left side. Luostarinen does not get it out. McDavid held it in. Here's Ekholm. Left circle. Doesn't shoot. Zach Hyman, button hooks, takes it down low, beyond Luostarinen, behind the net. Oilers, all kinds of pressure. Bouchard stepping up. McDavid right circle. You can feel something coming here. McDavid caught an edge, fell down, shoveled it down low. Florida's exhausted. Nugent Hopkins to Zach Hyman. He was taken down. Panthers hard charging, can't get it clear. Ekholm, left wing slapper, save Bobrovsky, and he'll freeze it. And the Panthers' inability to get the puck out of their own zone does not come back to haunt them on that particular shift. But that's exactly the formula you look for, especially on the road. When you're able to work Florida the way the Panthers like to work you, Bob, you start tilting the game in your favor.
Well, and they're Fitz Hudson's Bay rules in front of the goal there. I mean, Hyman gets cross-checked. Hard play in front. They're not calling that. And the Oilers seem to be alternating here a bit between, well, now we're going to have, we thought we might see this.
McLeod, Perry, and Draisaitl.
Draisaitl and maybe McDavid once in a while going with McLeod and Perry.
Draisaitl lining up against Sam Reinhart. Edmonton starting to flip the tables a little bit here. Draisaitl able to win a face-off. Panthers on the puck. Aaron Ekblad left to right. Moves it up to Alexander Barkov, and the Florida captain rides Kulak into the boards. Protects the puck, gives it up for Aaron Ekblad. Right point, down low, swatted toward the net by Barkov, and a save made by Skinner. That appeared to be on net. Reinhart taken hard against the boards. Cody Ceci has played a fine game for Edmonton. Frees it up. Kulak, free skate down the middle. Corey Perry in over the line. Wide open Ekholm. The pass wasn't there. Ekholm put it behind the net, and McLeod lost the handle. Barkov moves it. Forsling, left-hand side. Verhaeghe, and now activating is Aaron Ekblad. Forced out wide right wing, the top overall pick in the 2014 draft, puts it behind the net for Reinhart. He probably turns it over. Bouchard ahead to Ekholm. He'll get around. Kachuk won't have the puck pried free. Now Rodriguez back across the line. Left wing shot deflected. Dropped at the speed of Skinner, and then Kachuk tried to bank it off the Edmonton goaltender and could not do it. For a moment, he had Skinner caught out from behind the net. Kachuk against McDavid. Right circle. Sam Bennett lost the handle against Fogle, who got it to McDavid, and here come the Oilers. Bouchard right to left with Zach Hyman. He'll send it around the boards. We are tied at 1. Halfway through Game 7. Lead pass Kachuk left to right. He'll launch it in deep. After it is Mikkola against Broberg. Reverse back to Matthew Kachuk. He's thrown down by Nurse. No penalty was called. Rebound, Broberg, and he'll send it up the right-hand side. Stenlund able to pick it off and chip it back in for Florida. Lomberg thunders in on the forecheck. Kyle Pozo to Lomberg beneath the goal line. Tracked by Adam Henrique. Lomberg thrusts it back down for Pozo. He's got the puck. He spins. Right corner shot. And that was fought off by Skinner. Rebound, reaching for it. Nurse. No, not out of the zone. Stenlund tried to go short side and could not beat Skinner. Didn't hit the net. Adam Henrique protecting and giving it up for Broberg. He'll rush the puck out of danger himself. And the Fleet Swede is able to send it off the glove of Oliver Ekman-Larsson. 8:25 to go in the second period. We are tied at 1 in Game 7. First period goals scored by Verhaeghe for Florida, Janmark for Edmonton. Panthers power their way in. Shot Verhaeghe. Save made Skinner with the blocker from the right circle. Rebound Cody Ceci, and he's able to launch one down the ice. Race for the puck. Janmark canceled it out. He got around Ekblad. Crowd not happy with a non-icing, but the Oilers look to take full advantage. Derek Ryan shovels it back to the point. Kulak across to Cody Ceci. Wrist shot, and that missed the net. Rebound sent back to the point by Brown. He'll get it back from Kulak. Step up, high slot. Connor Brown surveys the lane. He'll move it. And now, Draisaitl over to Holloway, just out of his reach. Chopped at by Reinhart, but reversed back to Draisaitl from Holloway. Bouchard showed one time but didn't take it. Draisaitl, high slide shot. Dropped at the feet of Corey Perry. Couldn't locate the rebound quickly enough to get it to Dylan Holloway. Tracked by Aaron Ekblad. Another good shift by Edmonton. Holloway to Ekholm to Bouchard. He'll move it to Draisaitl, top of the right circle. Bouchard. Florida being run ragged in its own zone right now. Holloway taking off the puck. Verhaeghe a chance to clear. Can't get it done. Steal by Hyman. Thought he was tripped. None forthcoming. Jittery turnover by Forsling. Reinhart can't clear. Forsling angles it hard up the boards and out. Bouchard up to Draisaitl. Back out with Hyman and Holloway. Hyman with that broken stick still on the ice. Tried to muscle his way through Forsling. Could not do it. Barkov pursuing against Nugent-Hopkins. Fighting the loose stick as well as Nugent-Hopkins and McDavid. Flung off the glass and out by Forsling. Now Louros-Karainen. He'll be beaten to the puck by Matthias Ekholm. Continues to grapple for puck possession. Comes away with it. Had it. Lost it. Tarasenko hovering close by with the puck. He'll keep the cycle moving around the boards with 6:20 to play in the second period. And Game 7 still tied at 1. Tarasenko trying to harass Hyman. But it's quickly McDavid to Ekholm and out the left-hand side for a clear from Nugent-Hopkins, who pumps it back inside the Florida blue line. Tarasenko to Mikkola. Mind-numbing pressure right now. The tension continues to escalate throughout the building as it's sent in deep by Florida. Less than 6 minutes to play in the second period of Game 7 with the score tied at 1. Here's Nugent-Hopkins off the rush. Whiff, then a backhander. Juicy rebound issued by Bobrovsky, but he makes the save, carried out by Rodriguez, the center. Losing a stick, Connor Brown. Matthew Tkachuk was there, lost the handle, and Kulikov will have to reset for Florida. Brandon Montour swiftly up the center. Sam Bennett wandering right side, a backhander, a save, Skinner. Henrique tried to give it back to his goaltender, and that didn't work out. Rodriguez back on the puck. Henrique continues to check. Fogle slid down low. Bennett fell down, and the Oilers will break out. Broberg snaps a pass ahead to Holloway. He was checked by Kulikov, but fought through it. Now on the puck behind the net. Holloway looking to protect. Fogle had Draisaitl open for a moment. Back to the point. Ceci kept it alive. Draisaitl. Fogle hard in front. Save Bobrovsky, and the rebound trickled just wide. Kulikov cleared behind for Verhaeghe. And now the Panthers the other way, left to right. Over the line, Reinhart. A shot. Score! 2-1 Florida. 4:49 to play in the second period. Reinhart beating Skinner glove side. That's his 10th of the playoffs and just his second in the last 9 games.
Well, that was not a great goal. It's off the rush after the Oilers missed an opportunity on a jam play down low. Fogle, they've had 2 pucks. They haven't had the puck luck. Could have ricocheted in off of Kulikov. Florida came back up the ice, and Reinhart, who's a big sniper during the season, came down the right side. He's a right shot, and that beats Stuart Skinner to the short side. It's a tough goal to give up, Jack.
2-1 Florida.
And we talked about the fact that the Panthers needed their guys to get going. Verhaeghe and Reinhart have scored in this game.
2-1 Florida. Still nearly 5 minutes left to play in this second period. The second period has been Edmonton's best throughout the Stanley Cup playoffs. Reinhart able to break the 1-1 tie that was forged after the first. Face off at center. Mikkola tried to swing it in deep. Derek Ryan back inside the Florida line. Mikkola behind the net. The last Florida lead lasted all of 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Here's Stenlund down the slot. Forced out wide. Circling in. Couldn't tuck it home. Lomberg tried to bank it in. And neither Stenlund nor Lomberg, who had pretty good look short side, could get it through Stuart Skinner. Stenlund to Kyle Oposo, and he'll swing it around the boards. Corey Perry is there for Edmonton.
It's an interesting line to have on the ice here.
Kulak up the middle. McLeod stymied. Here come the Oilers. Corey Perry through traffic, stripped. Luo Storinen able to clear. This should be icing against Florida. And now you've got a chance to get your top line out there with the Panthers a little fatigued. Sam Reinhart with his 10th of the playoffs, beating Stuart Skinner. And I'll tell you what, the Panthers had good looks coming right back the other way.
They did, and I was surprised the Oilers had Derek Ryan out there, along with Perry and...
But now they've got Draisaitl, McDavid, and Hyman for this offensive zone faceoff. Off the draw, Panthers look to clear, and it is nudged out successfully by Tarasenko. Dmitry Kulikov, by the way, with a second assist on the scoring play. Verhaeghe the primary, and that's Kulikov's first point of the postseason. Florida now playing its 24th game. Edmonton its 25th. Bouchard up the middle for Leon Draisaitl. Here come the Oilers right to left. McDavid down the seam. Draisaitl one-timer. And that missed glove side and hopped out of play with 3:26 to go in the second period. A pretty healthy look for Draisaitl off the rush. Can't finish. And Florida's lead for now remains intact at 2-1 with 3:26 to go in the second period. Crowd in an uproar. Florida's fourth crack at winning the Stanley Cup. The Panthers still have 23 and a half minutes to negotiate. The Oilers trail 2-1. Game 7 of the Stanley Cup final continues in just a moment from Sunrise. The Oilers Radio Network.
There's only one line of trucks that's outsold all others for 58 years. Only one with the available Power Boost hybrid engine on select models that delivers performance and efficiency. It's the truck that all others are measured by. You know the one. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Right now, lease the 2024 F-150 STX with Black Appearance Package at 2.49% APR for up to 24 months with $4,800 down. That's just $228 bi-weekly. Visit your Alberta Ford store or Ford.ca for details.
Discover the epitome of elegance at Alberta Diamond Exchange, dedicated to crafting unforgettable moments with exquisite jewelry collections for over 2 decades. From stunning engagement rings to timeless wedding bands and anniversary treasures, the Alberta Diamond Exchange commitment extends far beyond I do. Your journey with Alberta Diamond Exchange is not just about jewelry, it's about an unparalleled experience. Check out the Aspen Glen Landing Boutique in Southwest Calgary, and for more information, head to abdiamond.ca today.
Chemco is building industry across Canada, and now they're on the lookout for civil and electrical project managers, estimators, and superintendents to join their dedicated team. Why Chemco? Because Chemco cares. They put people first, offering top-tier compensation packages and an unwavering commitment to safety. At Chemco, safety isn't just a priority, it's everybody's business. Ready to be part of a team that truly values you? Visit chemco.com/careers today.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Coming out of the timeout, it's Nugent Hopkins, McDavid, and Hyman. Ekholm and Bouchard defensively. Shots on goal, 17-14 Florida. The score, 2-1 Panthers. Sam Reinhart. Go-ahead goal moments ago. McDavid wins a faceoff. One-timer Bouchard, and that was blocked. Verhaeghe with a goal and an assist tonight, checking along with Barkov, and he'll carry it out of the zone to Sam Reinhart. At center ice, he'll funnel it towards Stuart Skinner. After it, Verhaeghe trying to protect down low, right corner. And Ekholm jostled him and cleared it down the middle of the ice. Forsling scrambles back up the left-hand side, spilled in by Reinhart, and the Panthers will make a line change. Verhaeghe in on the forecheck. The puck slid over to Ekholm by Bouchard. He'll survey the ice for a moment and move it to Bouchard. Lead pass out of the reach of Connor McDavid. Ekblad to Forsling, and it's sent skipping into the Edmonton zone, settled by Ekholm up the left-hand side. Reaching for it, Ekblad can't get there. Instead, it's Warren Foegele for Edmonton, protecting, centering, swatted out of midair. Now it's Philip Broberg against Sam Bennett. Puts the brakes on. Broberg circles and shoots, and only to have it blocked by Bennett. That rolls out of the zone, tucked back in by Broberg. And now Brandon Montour on the puck for Florida with 2:20 left in the second period. Lifted in deep by Evan Rodriguez. After it, Tarasenko can't get there. Broberg up the right-hand side. Hard check on Janmark by Luo Storinen. Nurse will swing it up the left-hand side, safely out by Holloway. Florida wanted icing, none forthcoming. Mikkola will settle it down as we go inside. 2 minutes to play in the second period. Stanley Cup final, June 24th, the latest it's been contested in a non-lockout or COVID elongated season. Kulak will dump it in. Game number 107 for Edmonton with everything at stake. Kulikov turned it over. Janmark the steal around Kulikov. Wrap around, he tried to center and that was tipped. Verhaeghe will rush it up the left-hand side with 90 seconds to go in the period. Here comes Barkov down the seam. Kulikov the trailer, fires, glove save, Skinner. This time, Shirley in the leather with 1:24 to play in period 2. Janmark could not get around Barkov, and the Panthers were able to break up what appeared to be a developing Edmonton situation. We'll take time out on the ice. We're live from Sunrise, Florida. Hot and steamy outside. Inside, the Stanley Cup in the building. Soon to be carried off by the winning team. It's Florida 2. It's Edmonton 1, late second. The Oilers Radio Network.
Until June 8th, make the shift to more savings at Fountain Tire and get up to $200 off a set of 4 select tires, plus a bonus $50 off any service of $150 or more. Restrictions apply. Financing available. Book online today. I can tell by the look on your face you're thinking about it.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes all of Oil Country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
Honey, I overloaded the washing machine and there's a mini waterfall pouring through the basement roof.
We'll fix it. Don't worry, babe.
And I might have horribly shrunk your lucky jersey.
Ouch. Can help. The save of the game is save. Check out their Google reviews.
Visit AccessInsuranceGroup.com.
Until June 8th, make the shift to more tires, plus a bonus $50 off any service of $150 or more. Restrictions apply. Financing available. Book online today. I can tell by the look on your face you're thinking about it.
All game, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
1:24 left, second period. Florida 2, Edmonton 1. Rodriguez, Tkachuk, and Bennett out there, but Draisaitl able to win the face-off, and it's chipped up the right-hand side. McLeod out there, and we've got an icing call whistled against Edmonton. McLeod, Perry, and Draisaitl, and I thought that was one where, well, we've seen a few each way that were of a dubious nature. That one goes against Edmonton. So face-off will come back. The Edmonton zone with 1:16 to go on the period. Go-ahead goal scored moments ago by Sam Reinhart.
Oilers got to get out of this period only down by 1. Got 1:16 left. It's a 2-1 game. Got to give yourself a puncher's chance in the third.
Only 14 shots for Edmonton. Draisaitl wins another face-off. Bouchard looking to launch down the middle. He does. Settled by Montour. Advanced through to Matthew Tkachuk. He's able to fish after it and get it in deep for Rodriguez. Shoveled across to Nico Mikkola. He'll swing it back behind the net for Rodriguez. Final minute to play, second period. Florida protecting a 2-1 lead in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. Bouchard won a battle with Rodriguez, comes out of the zone. Snaps a pass intended for Draisaitl, but when it was deflected to McLeod, Draisaitl could not keep himself onside. And we'll have a neutral zone face-off. McDavid comes over the boards with Nugent Hopkins and Hyman to finish out the period. 48 seconds left in the frame. It's 2-1 Florida. Verhaeghe with a goal and an assist. And again, he's a guy with Stanley Cup final experience, having won a cup in Tampa in the Edmonton bubble. Yep. Face-off win. Barkov against McDavid. He turned it over, though, and Bouchard is able to send it in deep. Ekblad trying to protect against McDavid. Top overall picks a year apart. Nugent Hopkins couldn't keep it down low. Reinhart ahead to Verhaeghe. Trying to turn on Bouchard. Can't do it. can't skate by him. Barkov protects against Nugent Hopkins, and then a breakout pass delivered to Hyman. And now you've got McDavid challenging Ekblad. Pokes checked away. Ekholm at the line for Hyman. Send it across. Bouchard a shot. Save Bobrovsky. Swatted out of midair. Over to Reinhart. 10 seconds to go. Shifted over the glove of Bouchard. This will be icing against Florida with 6 seconds to go. And the crowd unhappy with that one. But the Oilers will get another chance in the offensive zone. And why not? You go McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman here with 6 seconds to play in the period. And a face-off to Bobrovsky's right-hand side. And they're going to go Reinhart against Draisaitl on the draw. To Bobrovsky's right. Reinhart won the faceoff. McDavid spins back to the point, stolen by Barkov. He's able to clear. Chopped at by Bouchard. They give each other the business. Ekblad comes over to protect his captain. McDavid has a say in it, and Florida's 20 minutes away from winning its first ever Stanley Cup. The Edmonton Oilers will trail 2-1 with 20 minutes to go. The Panthers, I know I have it. I do my work too, Bob. 68-0-4 over their last 72 games when leading after 2 periods. The Oilers will have to break that streak if indeed they're going to win the Stanley Cup, at least taking it to overtime. Florida's third period, well, it's been its best over the course of the Stanley Cup playoffs, but
You call
not
me if it's time
necessarily
for
in the
you to
last
wash
3
it,
games.
so I'll wash it, okay?
Has outscored Florida 5-2 in the third period
Yeah.
of the last 3 games.
Love you.
Trends have not necessarily held up. Certainly the first 3 gave way to the next 3. Now the Stanley Cup final is down to 20 minutes, Bob. What do you think will decide it?
Well, all year long, the Edmonton Oilers seemingly have been coming from behind. Think about it, right? Started the season 2-9-1.
They're comfortable.
5-12-1, right? And then obviously during the course of the Vancouver series, down 2-1 and 3-2, down 2-1 to Dallas in round 3, down 2-0 in game 4. Came from behind. They're going to need to come from behind. They've been there before, but they got to put more pucks to the net. 15 shots on goal through 2 periods, and they haven't. I'll be honest, Jack. The Oilers haven't got a bounce yet so far in this game. I mean, Janmark scored a great goal.
Yeah.
None of the deflections in and around the net. There's been 2 that could have ricocheted into the Florida net. One on the power play, and then one just before the Florida 2-1 goal. That didn't happen for Edmonton. Florida got a good deflection by Verhaeghe on the 1 goal. Skill play, but it's a deflection. And then I play, frankly, Stuart Skinner be the first to tell you. He's got to make that save off the shot coming down the wall from Reinhart. Thought Kulak backed in a bit. Oilers could have maybe provided a little bit more backside support.
Reinhart was looking to pass initially. I think shot was absolutely his last option.
It was, and Stewart got beat to the short side on the glove side. That's a tough goal to give up. We know where Stewart needs to work on his game carrying forward. It's on his glove side and handling the puck. We've talked about it. So, Edmonton's, they've dug deep all year long. They're going to have to dig deep here in the third against a team that doesn't blow leads. And for the record, I didn't have 68-0-4. I saw it come across in a lower third scroll with ESPN, and it's like, wow, that's a pretty impressive number. Florida has played the way I thought they were going to play. This game has been very much similar to me. The only difference is how quickly Edmonton responded to the 1-1 goal to beat in Carolina after Edmonton had blown the Hurricanes out in Game 6 and Edmonton 4-0. And they blew them out. They beat them worse than the Oilers beat Florida the other night in Game 6. So, Oilers have some work to do. No question about it. Florida came out banging with tempo and pace. Oilers are going to have to create something.
We don't know what Bobrovsky has, though. And what we do know is coming into this game, he'd stopped 76% of the last 58 shots he's faced. Now, he's 14 of 15 tonight, but as you point out, that's a meager total. If you get another 7 or 8 shots in the third period, Bob, I don't think that'll be good enough.
No, I think Edmonton's got to get 30 shots on goal to have a chance to tie this game, Jack.
So, 20 minutes to go in the longest season.
You take this all day. Think of where we were on November 6th in Vancouver, and everybody was writing the Oilers off. And even tonight, there's people sitting there, well, it's great. They got their 3 wins. They make it 3-3 in the series. Just go get it in the third period. They need some guys to dig in, and Like Fogle, for me, he drives the puck to the net. McLeod, there's been a couple sequences where he's been a little light in the ass out there in terms of that. He can skate and transport the puck, and I think he'll take another step in his progression. But they're going to need McLeod's speed. They're going to need Holloway's speed to stretch the ice a bit against these guys. And Edmonton's been they were a little bit better, in all honesty. They were better in terms of puck support and making plays in their own zone in that period than they were in the first period under the duress of the Florida forecheck. But they got beat off the rush, frankly, on a weak goal. Right now, it's the difference of the game.
All hands on deck. 20 minutes to go. 20 minutes to live for Edmonton. 20 minutes to survive for Florida, having blown a 3-0 series lead. This is Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, live from Sunrise. The Oilers Radio Network.
Proudly headquartered in Edmonton, Capital Power is powering change by changing power. Be part of the energy and join Capital Power in cheering on our Edmonton Oilers. From Ice District and across oil country as they chase another championship banner. Visit capitalpower.com to learn about how they're delivering reliable and affordable power for communities today and creating innovative solutions for a clean electricity future.
Stay connected with your community and enjoy the latest updates and exclusive access to concerts and events by becoming a 630 CHED Insider.
Don't miss out on a single moment. Sign up now at 630ched.com
and click on CHED Insider Newsletter to become a vital part of Edmonton's premier news and talk community. 630 CHED, Edmonton's news, today's talk,
where Edmonton stays informed and entertained
today and every day. At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
And now the Panthers the other way, left to right. Over the line, Reinhart, a shot, score. 2-1 Florida. 4:49 to play in the second period. Reinhart beating Skinner, glove side. That's his 10th in the playoffs and just his second in the last 9 games.
Well, that's the only goal of the second period. It takes you to the highlight zone for Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos, 3 great locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the winter zone. Reinhart from Verhaeghe and Kulikov with 4:49 left in the second period. 2-1 Panthers. Brown, as we are at the intermission for End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring. And 10 seconds after Lawrence Fogle jams the puck into the crease, and it bounces away, dramatic but harmless in the end. Reinhart goes the other way and shoots and scores.
We see that so often where there's a close call, whether it be a great save or a post or something that you think, oh, the whole place goes crazy. Then the opposition responds and goes down the other way and scores. And on this one, and I know that Bob mentioned it was a soft goal or a goal that you'd want back. But that's Reinhart. He scored 57 this year. He got the puck on his own blue line. He skated the length of the ice. The Oilers, at first it looked like a 3-on-2, and then the Oilers got back pressure. And it was read wrong. And instead of the defenseman, I believe it was Kulak on that one, attacking Reinhart, take away his time and space, he moved to the middle of the ice. And that allowed Reinhart to come in a little bit closer, get a better angle. And again, it's a 57-goal score with time from the far blue line to skate the length of the ice and pick his spot. I like my chances with Reinhart on my team if he's going to be able to do that. So I think that was more a misread by the Oilers defensive pairing than it was a bad goal on Skinner. And it was just so inopportune time because the Oilers had some pressure. They almost scored. Almost goes in off Kulikov's foot and into the wide open net. Instead, the Edmonton Oilers are trailing going into the third period.
Shots in that period, 10-9 in favor of the Panthers. So for the game, they're out shooting the Oilers 17-15. And Rob, to me, shades of maybe earlier in the series where even when the Oilers are in the Panthers zone, there's nothing clean to the net. It's hard to get into that home plate area.
Well, the Panthers have made one big mistake in this game, and it was the goal that Janmark scored. And they gave the Oilers openings. Since then, the Panthers have done a fantastic job of just closing off everything. And when the Oilers do have extended periods in the offensive zone, the Panthers are just shrinking. They got 5 guys in the slot, and they're forcing the Oilers wide. and everything is contested. The Oilers' best opportunity in that whole period, outside of the full goal we just talked about, the Oilers had a power play, and on the power play, early in it, a Bouchard shot broke the stick of Forsling. So it was a 5 versus 3.5 for a good minute. Leon had a couple looks, but the Oilers weren't able to find the back of the net. But that, to me, was the best chance that the Oilers had in the period. But this is the best the Panthers have played by far since Game 2. Much more aggressive, much more physical. I thought the Oilers have responded well, but they're just not getting the open looks that they've gotten in the last 3 games. And now they have, they're working for it. As Connor McDavid has said a few times, if it was easy winning the Stanley Cup, it would...
Bob, it's tough
thrilling
now.
as it is. They have a chance to win a Stanley Cup, but they have to win a period first.
Yeah.
Fully capable of doing it. Neither Leon and Connor are on the score sheet yet. It's rare that that happens, so I don't know if the Florida Panthers can win this game 2-1. They're going to need to score another goal because I do believe the Edmonton Oilers have at least one in them this period. So they're going to need star players to step up, and they're going to need another save by Stuart Skinner. He cannot allow the Florida Panthers to extend this lead. He's got to give his team a chance.
So is the bench already shortened, or what do you look for in the third period?
Well, the fourth line, I don't know what they're at right now, but I have not seen them out much. The one way that Chris Knobloch has utilized his bench, and we saw it late in the period. Leon Draisaitl was out with McLeod and Perry. That's your fourth line wingers. He took the spot of Corey Perry. There's no game 8 in this series.
Right.
So Connor and Leon, if they will play until they've got nothing left in them. The only problem that you have is if you play your players too much in the third, you're trying to get this thing at least to overtime. But I say Connor and Leon, as long as they are trailing in this game, they're going to play upwards to 9-10 minutes in this third period, as the Oilers are going to throw everything they have at the Florida Panthers here.
All right, so 2-1 for the Panthers. The 50-50 is at $18.6 million. Draws at 11 tonight, so it'll probably be $20 million. So it's only half, so if you get 20, you only get 10. Not bad. Verhaeghe and Janmark, 2 minutes and 17 seconds apart in the first period, and then Reinhart, the only goal of the second. 2-1 Florida after 2. Fort Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton Airport. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, you can always enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options, or try your luck at off-track betting. And now you can feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Century Casino has it all. Come for the action, stay for the fun.
Straining to find the right home? You're gonna love this. For a limited time, get back in the game with a free Oiler Fan Cave basement by Coventry Homes. This playoff package includes a free basement, plus an exclusive Oiler Fan Cave, complete with their signature customizable designs and top shelf finishes at no additional cost. Because flexibility is within reach. Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers.
Blue-collar work deserves big dollar perks. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals is hiring heavy equipment technicians, maintenance supervisors, PM servicemen, maintenance coordinators, and pretty much every other position that makes Alberta go. We help move the earth that makes Alberta grow. So why not work for a company that makes your bank account grow too? Visit heavymetalequipment.ca to find your new career. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals, helping you move the earth.
This is Global News at the Intermission. I'm Rod Kurtz. Stormwater removal was a hot topic of discussion today at a meeting of Council's Utilities Committee. The committee heard that EPCOR has identified 1,200 property owners who are not paying for stormwater removal. Apparently, this fell through the cracks when EPCOR took this over from the city a few years ago. These property owners will soon be getting a bill. A protester arrested at the 2022 border blockade at Coutts in southern Alberta appeared surprised when when police told him he was being charged with conspiracy to commit murder. A video statement from Anthony Olenek was played in court today. He replied, "No way," after police told him about the charge. Olenek and co-accused Chris Carbert are charged with conspiring to kill Mounties at the protest that paralyzed that border crossing for 2 weeks. Canada's population expected to reach around 63 million by 2073, with the number of people aged 85 and older set to triple. Stats Canada says in the new projections, migration will be the key driver, while the populations of Newfoundland, Labrador, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and Quebec expected to decrease until 2048. StatsCan expects Saskatchewan, Alberta, and BC will increase their share of the nation's population. I'm Rod Kurtz. Your next newscast coming up after the game on 6:30. Ched.
Athletes know that to advance your career, you've got to be part of a winning team. So, what about you? Are you working for a winning team? Well, here's your chance to do just that. Brandt is a strong and stable industry leader with career opportunities across Canada. We have hundreds of positions available right now, from parts, sales, positioning technology, heavy-duty mechanics, and more. Be a part of a winning team. Earn your stripes by joining Brandt today. Find out more at BrandtJobs.com.
Look, I know this is radio, so it's hard to show you how much is on sale during the Big One clearance event at End of the Row Flooring Centers, but it's a lot. Like this flooring, or this one, and all these. Yep, all at clearance pricing for a limited time. Now, you don't need to just imagine what it would look like, though. You can use our visualizer at endoftheroll.com to upload a picture of your room to see the flooring in your actual home. Try it. Find something you love, then get a great deal on it at the Big One clearance event on now at End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Chemco is building industry across Canada, and now they're on the lookout for civil and electrical project managers, estimators, and superintendents to join their dedicated team. Why Chemco? Because Chemco cares. They put people first, offering top-tier compensation packages and an unwavering commitment to safety. At Chemco, safety isn't just a priority, it's everybody's business. Ready to be part of a team that truly values you? Visit chemco.com/careers today.
The intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Okay, let's check the scoreboard for Pizza 73, official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. Blue Jays had the lead, did not hold it. Boston wins 7-6, and Hershey wins the American Hockey League 5-4 victory over Coachella Valley. That's Washington's farm team over Seattle's farm team. Well, the Oilers have had to recover all season long. They got to do it here in the third period of Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. They trailed the Florida Panthers 2-1. Jack Michaels and Bob Stauffer will tell the tale. For Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
And the intermission has been brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Core top.
Yeah, we got TikTok.